Can you see my butt crack? Sorry. Brand new podcast. 222 pounds, if that's what you're wondering. 222 pounds. I ran today 4 miles before I did Comedy Film Nerds, which is a fantastic podcast. It's a lot of fun. I just did it this afternoon, and they released it today. So check that out, Comedy Film Nerds podcast. Thank you, everyone who came out for the dollop last week. Man, that is an amazing turnout of listeners. Also, I will be doing a live show with them February 6th at Nerdist Meltdown. Nerdist Meltdown's a really fun place to do shows. I hope this is recording. Yeah. Today's podcast is absolutely fantastic. We do something at the end of the podcast, me and my wife, LeeAnn. I don't have video for it because I didn't shoot video for it, so you won't see it on the video portion of this podcast, which I am uploading videos for these podcasts weekly. I'm doing it myself, so it takes a little while. I apologize. I just uploaded the dollop today, and no, I'm talking to camera right now, but I'm not talking at camera. I'm not looking at camera. You'd think I'd be a better host. So that one's up there. You can see my machine video is on YouTube. If I haven't shoved that down your throat enough, this one trick pony's just fucking milking it. That's what I want to call the next hour. Milking the machine. I'm on tour. I'll definitely tell you my tour dates. I got those coming up. But real quick, let's first tell you Joe DeRosa's comedy special. Joe DeRosa is my guest this week. I don't want to forget this. You Let Me Down. It premieres Friday at midnight on Comedy Central. Friday at midnight on Comedy Central, and then again Sunday at 1 a.m. on Comedy Central, and then it'll be online on the 7th, that Tuesday. So check out Joe DeRosa. This is a great podcast. Let me real quick do tour dates, and then I'll tell you everything you need to know about Joe DeRosa, how I met Mr. DeRosa. What are my tour dates, you ask? I'm in Lexington this week. Then I'm at Parlor Live in Seattle or Bellevue, Washington the following weekend. Then I'm in London. Hey, London. Hey, London. Hey, London calling. This is America. Hey, London. February 15th. I don't know if the tickets are on sale yet, but I'm doing a show at the Angel Comedy at the Bill Murray. I think it's a 10 o'clock show. It is a small venue, so get your tickets ASAP. I'm hoping it sells out. If it doesn't sell out, boy, did I underestimate. Either that or I am in touch with every single one of my London fans. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be doing some podcasts. I think Andre Vincent's going to be on the show with me, hopefully. He's a hilarious comic that I worked with in South Africa. I'm going to do a podcast with a guy named Al Murray while I'm there. And if you guys have any more recommendations of who to podcast with, let me know. I'd love to do a double podcast. I'm trying to get Glenn Wool and another drinking comic to do a podcast at a pub where we just sit around and bullshit over some beers. And that'll be my first beer in 3 months. 2 months. November, Thanksgiving was the last beer I had. So yeah, no. December, just 2 months. All right, 2 months. After London, San Antonio. Ooh, my first time in San Antonio at Laugh Out Loud. Taylor Tomlinson's going to be with me in San Antonio. Helium Portland. I don't know who's in Helium Portland with me, but I'm sure it's going to be someone great. Those shows will definitely sell out only because that club is so fantastic. Richmond Funny Bone. Shane Torres is going to be in the Richmond Funny Bone with me. And hey, this announced just now, although I haven't really, maybe I won't announce it yet, but I'll just say it out loud. See, I didn't announce it. I just whispered it. And then Call In Sick to Work show at the Columbus Funny Bone on St. Patrick's Day. That is certain to sell out. That's going to be a fucking blast. Last year was insane. We stayed until 7 o'clock at night. And then I think I got to get on a thing. I'm going to do a college that night. Albany, I think. Omaha. Omaha's. That's it. Just go. I should like this better. Is that better? Is this cutting in and out of focus? Am I focusing too much on the camera? You're like, this is a fucking podcast, my man. Today's podcast is, there's a little something interesting going on at the end. My wife and I, as you know, are obsessed with Black Sails. So every Sunday when I come home, we watch Black Sails. And this week we were laughing so hard, we said, we should record this. We should talk about this and see if it just works. It's a bonus. It's at the very end of the episode. So you can listen to the episode and just go at not for me. And very honestly, I think a lot of you will say not for me. Because it's very podcast, it's very black sales specific. But it is also very funny because I am really drunk when we do this podcast, and and she is making fun of me. But so it's all about black sales. We giggle, we laugh, we talk about the TV show we love, and we'll be doing that every week unless you guys really ask us to stop. But it's going to be at the end of the podcast. So it's once you've already listened to the full podcast, which is a full podcast you're getting, it's just an extra 15, 20 minutes. So if you like it, tell me. If you don't like it, tell me. You know me. So today's podcast, the meat of it, the real reason we're here, guys, is Joe DeRosa. The podcast isn't changing, by the way. I'm just adding a little add-on at the end. So just tell me what you think. Anyway, today's podcast is with Joe DeRosa. Joe DeRosa, for those of you who don't know, is a New York comic. I met Joe in I talk about this in the podcast. I met him at a place called Comics, where we did a show together with Jessica Curson, who I could not follow all fucking weekend. But he was so matter-of-fact and so cool. He's good friends with Bobby Kelly and Bill Burr. He had an incident with Anthony Cumia, which I think is since well past. But I'm just trying to put a frame of reference. He's been on Rogan, and I think that was right after the Anthony thing. We don't talk about that because it's so past anything in his career. We're here to talk about his hour special, and we end up talking about politics. We end up talking about politics, but in like a very like loving, forgiving way. So I think you'll have a good time. And then we end up bullshitting about booze and Xanax. It's a fucking blast, man. It's a great podcast. More to come. More to come? Why would I fucking say that? Today's podcast, ladies and gentlemen, Joe DeRosa.
This is Bertcast.
Bottom of the market. And like right when everything was cheap, so we could afford it, but it was a piece of shit.
Right.
It was not like people would walk through my house and be like, "Oh, cool," and like no one would like, "Did you own?" They're like, "You rent?" No, we own it. But and then we got to a place where we were like, we wanted another house, wanted something else. Not that we were going to really afford it, but
right.
like, and it turns out that you could. I'm just not a grown-up, but you could borrow money off of what you already owed, and everything has increased since property values went up. And so
Right.
we spent the last 4 or 5 months renovating. And so we toured out the whole kitchen, tore out a bedroom, put a new kitchen in, a new master bedroom. And so it's been, it's like the first time in my life. I'm 44, and I just feel like a grown-up.
I hear you, man. Well, look, you're ahead of me, dude. You're married. You have a kid.
Oh well, that's that. Those are super easy. You just got to get someone pregnant.
Do you have one kid or two?
I got 2. She's at Girl Scouts.
How old are your kids?
10 and 12.
Yeah, man. That's I'm nowhere near any of this stuff, dude. You got cigars out there?
Yeah,
like a grown man.
No, yeah. I drink like a grown man.
How much do you drink?
A lot.
Yeah. Break it down for me.
I probably I've been going through, my biggest days are flying days.
Right.
So like I'll drink. That's why I started taking red eyes. I started canceling my flights and taking red eyes out so that because I was booking early in the day and giving myself a whole flying day. But if I do that, I drink all day. I'll drink from the moment I get to the airport until I get back to my hotel room, and then I'll listen to some music and drink in my hotel room. On the road, I won't start drinking until the middle of the late show.
Right.
Like I'll bring a drink up on stage with me, but I don't really mess with it.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to be buzzed on stage. I don't mind being buzzed on stage, but I don't like to be buzzed getting on stage going, I got a full hour and I'm not.
No, yeah, I do the same thing.
So I'll start drinking probably around like 11:30 and then drink until like 1:30. I'll drink for a couple hours, only have like 4 drinks, 5 drinks, and then I take that back. Everyone's been buying me shots lately. So and then I don't drink when I'm home.
Oh, that's not a lot.
Yeah, but it's a lot. Like if you're my cardiologist, it's a lot. If you're my cardiologist, you say stuff like, well, we all know how this is going to end.
Well, but I mean, it sounds like you drink 2 nights a week, 5 drinks each night.
Yeah, well, I might be underselling it.
That doesn't sound like a lot at all. I thought you were going to tell me you drink every day.
I don't drink every day.
Right.
But I will say last night I went to my sister's birthday party and I drank. And I'm having a harder and harder time, like, coming out of the not drink. Like, meaning like the next day I'm like, ugh. Where if I don't drink, I'm a fucking superhero. Like,
Right.
I get up feeling so good, get on the treadmill, run 9 miles, drop the girls off at school, pick them up at school, do a podcast, take some meetings. Like, I'm a fucking superhero when I don't drink.
Right.
But then, like, today I had Tito's has been very kind enough to send me a bunch of booze, but I was making Tito's and sodas in those 32-ounce cups.
Today.
No, last night.
Oh, last night.
But you want to hear something crazy? So I pour one, and I drink it on my ride to my sister's house, and then and my sister's got a blood alcohol thing you blow in, and I've had one full one. I mean, it must be a massive cocktail,
Right.
and I didn't even blow a .04. And my wife's like, that can't be good.
Well, that's weird. Like, is that bad though?
And I know. I think my liver just processes quicker than other people. I don't know.
Holy shit. How's your cholesterol and all that stuff?
Cholesterol is a little elevated. Blood pressure is a little elevated, but not anything. I just got back from the cardiologist like a couple weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. A couple weeks ago. Everything's fine. Does a sonogram of all my organs. Totally fine. I got a physical March 1st.
Uh-huh.
And I do that. I do a physical that just to keep up with my thyroid. So my thyroid can get a little wonky, as my wife will say.
So what's your there's a reason I'm asking all these questions. I feel like you're on my podcast right now.
No, I
I'm
like
asking
this.
you a lot of questions. What's your cholesterol at?
I don't know. Just high end of high. Like, what is it, 225?
Okay.
Yeah, like high end of high. Like right at the top. Almost all my levels are right around there. But I this is a Bill Burr note because I saw him right before I saw my cardiologist. He's like, bro, you don't go in there like it's game day. You go in there in the worst shape you've ever been in.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
I just got mine done. Mine's 235.
It's not bad.
The doctor didn't even call me about it. I had to call him. But here's why I asked, because I've been diagnosed with fatty liver.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have that?
No.
How do you not have that?
I don't. Fatty liver has a lot more to do with what you eat, I think, than what you drink.
See, I've heard the opposite. I've heard it's just from drinking.
Oh, no. Because my dad had fatty liver, and he got it from eating like shit.
Okay.
Because if you have a lot of carbs in your diet, that can cause fatty liver.
Okay.
So my dad had to go on a 0-carb, all-protein, lean green diet, and his liver went right back to normal.
Right.
But he wasn't, and he also didn't drink. And I guess he drinks, but he doesn't drink the way I drink.
Oh, I'm screwed, man.
Why? What's your diet like?
Right now it's bad because I'm taking a booze break,
Oh,
but I'm losing weight
yeah.
because I cut out booze.
How long have you been off booze?
8 days. I'm only doing it. I'm not going sober.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
just
you're-
like kind of doing a dry out.
Yeah.
But
Those
I'm,
are always good. I always do a month-long dry out every year.
yeah.
Yeah, like a legit. This year it was when Tom and I lost all that weight. But
Okay.
that's the other thing is that I just lost 35 pounds.
Right.
So I think that might be why all my levels were like, a little high on a high. If he had gotten me 20 days earlier, he would have been like, all right, we need to change this.
I got you. I'm I'm on a little dry out now. I'm about 8 days in. I was going to try to go till, I don't know how long I'm going to go till, because it's fucking boring, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking real boring.
Oh, it's horrifically boring. I don't know how my wife does it.
I mean, and I don't have a family. I'm a single dude.
So what, like, fuck that. Fuck. I don't know. What, then just join a convent or something. I mean, like, what's the, I mean, I have a distraction, and not to like say like my grass is greener.
Right.
Like when I dry out, there is a solid payoff to like getting to spend time with your kids, enjoying family time, eating healthy, getting in the treadmill, working out, like riding bikes with the girls. Like but if I was single, I don't know if I would ever dry out.
It sucks, dude. Because
Yeah.
the only salvation to being single is meeting somebody.
Yeah.
And the only way to do that I'm 39 is to go to a bar. I mean, I don't know where else I refuse to do fucking like speed dating or any of that bullshit.
What about Swiper?
I've tried dating apps. I've never had any luck.
Really?
I've noticed something. There's a certain personality type. You have to be good at dating apps. It's not just,
Yes.
like it's a different game. It's a totally different game.
Yeah, you're right. You got to be like one of those people that knows, like, it's like, I could never be on a conference. I could never be on a phone call with hip hop guys,
Right.
Because I could never, because I talk too regular. Like when they're like, "What's good, fam?" Then I end up, I go, "Not much, fam." Like, I just go, "Nothing."
Right.
Like I don't have a cool, witty.
Right.
All right, be like a bee, and then you're like, all right, one love. I was never good at that, and there are people that are good at that, and those are like I think those are the cheese dick people on Tinder.
It's a whole different game, dude. I just don't have I'm a real little things kind of guy.
What do you mean?
I sweat the small stuff. So that's not a good place for me to be because I'll get annoyed real quick.
That's great. That is fucking. But that's so like. We used to say we could destroy anyone's girlfriend within a minute.
Right.
And just be like, and like your friend would be like, "Not mine." You'd be like, "Really? Have you seen her ankles?"
Right.
And then it's like, what? I mean, the littlest things. Me, my buddy Mark Lazara, Scott O'Brien, we could tear apart a woman in a matter of. Yeah, she's not bad except for the space at the top of her teeth. You notice that? And then all of a sudden, that's all you can see. Oh,
that's so funny, man. Well, that's not what I mean though by sweating the small thing.
Okay.
But I know what you mean. You can get hung up on a detail. And God bless women for being way less shitty about that than men are, because it's the running joke in Shallow Hal, like that Jason Alexander's character is like this balding heavyset guy, and then like this hot woman wants to bang him, and he's like, her toe is weird, or whatever.
Yeah, guys
are really shallow like that, but like I sweat the small stuff personality wise. I mean, like I get.
Oh yeah.
If you like, it doesn't take much for me to read your bio on one of those sites and be like, "Oh, fuck you." Do you think Grimm is the greatest show ever made? Go fuck yourself. Shit like that.
So wait, I used to be like that. And my wife, who is she's two things. She is not cool. And she's a bitch.
Right.
So, like, combine those. Like, everyone listening is going, "Bert, you're so far off." But this is a part of her that the sweat the small stuff.
Right.
So, she has this, like, you'll see her at some point. She'll walk back, and she'll just look in the man cave, and she'll just look like, and then she'll see someone's in here, and she'll realize she's being looked at, and she'll go, "Oh, hi." Like, it's such a change of personality. And then I couldn't get her to appreciate cool shit.
Right.
Like she was a nerd, but not a nerd, but just didn't like cool shit. So the very first time we hung out and had dinner together, she was like, "Let's watch America's Funniest Home Videos." I was like, "Oh, I cannot be fucking dating this person." And I was like, I can't watch that. I'm a professional comedian.
That's
She's
so
like,
funny.
"It's really good." And I go, "Oh my God, this is a person that really enjoys America's Funniest Home Videos." So then she put it on, and the first video I saw, I'd never seen before, and I've watched maybe 1,000 times since, was white guy dressed as a scarecrow. Bucket of candy on his lap, kids coming up, two little cheerleaders coming up on Halloween. They go to get a piece, and he goes, "Boo!"
Right.
And they go, "Ah!" They scream, big laugh. Next guy comes up, is a black dude in sweatpants, talking about some construction work he's got lined up to another friend.
Right.
And he goes to reach in to get the candy. And the guy goes, "Boo!" And the black guy goes, "Bam!" And knocks him unconscious. And I was pissing myself laughing. And she was like, see, it doesn't need to be edgy to be funny. See. I could not. And to this day, the nerdy stuff about her, the stuff she likes, where I go, "The fuck is wrong with you?" I love it.
Right.
I love it.
Right. And that's true nerdy stuff. Like, nerdy now means you like cool shit.
Yeah.
Nerdy now is I collect obscure Blu-rays, you know what I mean? And whatever. That's dorky shit.
Yeah, that's
truly
dorky.
That's Target shit.
Her word, so oh, that woman's a fucking cunt. My wife's word is turkey. Well, he's just a turkey.
Really?
And it drove me nuts. I was like, hey, at one point, when
is she from the South?
Yeah.
What part?
border of Alabama and Georgia, a little town called
Holy
Bowden.
shit, dude.
So she would say, it would, you know, when it's boiling over, and she's just called you you're being such a turkey today. And at one point, I can tell you where we were because this is so. We were on Detroit and 3rd Street, and I went, "You need a new fucking word." I was fucking, but now it's so funny. She said she's calling the girls turkeys the other day, and I didn't even hear it. I don't even hear it anymore. It's almost like what you must be like in Scientology when you're like, yeah, I don't even see the crazy anymore.
You're right.
Like, no, man, it helps. I seem to be a better person.
Yeah. So if you hang in there long enough, it just goes away.
I guess, but like my wife, like TV's always been one of our hiccups. Like music too.
That's a tough one. TV for me is an easier pass because I don't watch a ton of TV. I'm more of a movie guy.
Yeah.
So I don't even have proper cable. I have like streaming apps.
Yeah.
So, there are certain shows I watch, but very few. And I watch a lot of movies. So I could slide on TV. I could deal with trash TV to an extent, or bad TV to an extent. But
What if it was
music,
Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, I'd hate that.
Oh.
But I mean, I would take that over somebody wanting to listen to like the new fucking Sheryl Crow album with me or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. My wife's music taste is like so bad. She she has two types of music. She has either like she'll listen to whatever the little poppy stuff is now, like that No song. I don't even know what it is, but I just hear it all the time. She'll be like, Alexa, play No or whatever.
Right.
Some Meghan Trainor song. Or if she's cleaning the house, she plays old like 1930s country.
No, that's cool.
That's the only redeemable part about her is like Dwight Yoakam.
That's really cool.
Into that stuff. But like other than that, it was like just like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like I don't know.
I like Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
you're naming some good stuff.
Let me rephrase this. I'm just cooler at music than her. So like I listen to good music, and she just listens to a bunch of other shit.
What do you listen to?
Like I was really into Wilco for a period of time.
Okay,
still am. And she'd just be like, "I don't get it. Are they gay?" And you're like, "What?" They seem gay. I don't know. Is that what this is about? Because it's all men. It's all fucking disgruntled white male privileged dudes,
right?
Who are having troubles with their feelings,
right?
And so she just read it as gay.
That's funny, and that's so funny because that's such a Southern thing too. Because that's not homophobic. That's just like somebody speaking candidly. Like that's somebody being like, "It's fine. I'm just asking." You know. Like,
the one thing she has that I don't have is she's really smart, and so she I've been having a really hard time with the politics lately, and I just know that no one really gives a fuck what the truth is ever. And like the fucking it seems like I want to say like comics I know only because it will make it so much easier because that's the only ones I really hear their politics.
Right,
is like comics, and I go. It seems like liberals are doing the identical things that conservatives are doing, or just posting the stuff from their websites to their things.
Yeah,
and no one's on the Guardian like to posting articles.
Right,
you know, and like so. I have a really hard time with politics, and this morning my wife is very fucking liberal, but this morning she was trying to break down this travel ban for me, and she was saying, I forget what her exact statement was, but did you hear that?
Yeah, what was
a
it?
Squirrel.
That was a squirrel?
Yeah, the squirrels were up in the trees eating the oranges.
It's like there was a dog on your roof.
Yeah, it's a fucking big ass squirrel. And so she was breaking down the travel ban to me. And explaining exactly what it was, and she's like, I forget what the point was, but she was saying that she only listens to NPR. She was like, she heard an opposing view on NPR, and she was shocked. So then she was like, oh my God, this must have truth in it, and then researched it and was like, wow, that's kind of crazy,
right?
And so she's that smart like that. I just give up. I just fucking give up. I'm not the sharpest
political guy, but I
the sharpest political guy.
Yeah. I follow it as best I can, and I try to stay up on the stuff. But I mean, I can say with some confidence that I feel like now is a terrible time to try to gauge what your perspective or understanding is of anything.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a terror. I was just doing a bunch of interviews to push my special, and like this came up in every fucking
Oh, that's
interview.
right. Your special's airing.
Yeah.
When's this? When?
Friday.
Friday.
Well, what's today? Monday? Tuesday?
Tuesday. It's
Friday the 3rd.
This will come out tonight.
All right. Friday the 3rd, this week at midnight.
On
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central?
Uncensored.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. And then the 7th, it hits the internet.
Dude, best
For
case
download.
scenario.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice, I guess, yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. It's great stuff. Sorry, I'm not downplaying.
No.
I'm not like-
I know you don't have to say. I'm not a promotional whore. Although people on this podcast would be like, I pretty much remember you spending 5 minutes every day talking about the Wilbur, but I know that feeling of people who go, I love your special, and you're like, go, cool. Or like, I stop doing this because I don't know how to.
Yeah.
I want that compliment, but I don't want to have to interact with you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to accept it. I just want to hear it. What the fuck was I going to say? Because I've been doing all these interviews all week to promote it, and this comes up in every interview, and every time I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Nuance is gone. You can't talk in the gray area with anybody.
Yeah.
I shouldn't. This is hyperbole, obviously, but there are people you can talk to. But it's just people just acting so vehemently.
You say something and you watch the person's face go like this.
Yeah.
Now I'm better than you. I'm better than you because I don't agree with you, and you must not know anything because you don't see my side of the politics.
I found myself saying lately to people, "You're very self-righteous." Like I started finally saying it. You're self-righteous. Well, why? Because you're telling me right now that if people don't do it the way you did it, that they're wrong.
That's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. Oh my God! That is exactly what I don't like. That this self-righteousness of that exactly.
Yeah.
That fucking makes me sick, especially when it's like comes out of someone who this is going to get very specific. So it comes out of someone who's been doing comedy for 12 years, and they've got a little bit of a name for themselves because they had a Netflix special or something, and then they decide to throw out their opinion on politics and agree in a tag with Patton Oswalt and be like this, and I'm like, no, don't fucking come on,
Right?
There are people out there that voted for Trump that aren't bad people.
No, and that's what I said. I don't like Trump. I'm not a fan, and I didn't vote for him. But I also didn't vote for Hillary because I wasn't a fan of Hillary either. But I can also say that would I prefer Hillary to Trump? Sure, I would. But that's not saying that much. I mean, that's like saying who wouldn't you prefer to Trump? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you what though. This is what I got to tell you. It's pretty neat. He's doing everything. I didn't think he was really going to do it. I thought it was jokes.
No.
I was like, I'm building a wall. He's really building a fucking wall.
Yeah, I know.
I can't fucking believe that.
I was on at midnight yesterday, and Hardwick, like as part of his script in the show, I mean, like for one of the bits, the setup was, well, who knew that he'd make good on all the psycho babble he was spewing? Like, he's coming through with all of it.
He's coming through in spades. I'm going to ban Muslims. He banned fucking Muslims.
Yeah, he's doing it. I was talking to my mom today, and they're a lot of the press, some of the press at least, is saying he's like the first president in history, or maybe not in history, but in a very, very, very long time, to actually do what he said he was going to do. So, like, it's this weird thing where it's like we're either the transparency, either it's somewhere in between the two extreme points to me, and the two extreme points to me are either the facade has been lifted totally and like, hey, this is how it's been working the whole time, and we're just showing you now.
Yeah.
Which, if you do research politics, you can find stuff to support that argument easily.
In that you're saying that because one thing that LeeAnn said is she's like, everyone's going nuts about him signing executive orders. The only reason he's signing executive orders and counteracting everything Obama did is because that's exactly what Obama did when he got in office. He started signing executive orders and negating everything Bush was doing.
Right.
And she said, one of the things that really offends her is that Bush didn't say a fucking word about Obama. Now, he was also in a place where no one wanted to say anything about Obama, the first black president.
Right.
But She's like, Bush didn't say a fucking word. And she goes, and Obama comes out. He's not even president. And he says basically nothing. He goes, I think that your public right to protest is a strong American value. Meanwhile, Trump's like, suck this dick, bitch. And like, that's the way he's speaking.
Right, yeah.
And like, at least Obama could be like, you know what? I think this is a horrible thing that he's doing.
Right.
But he's speaking in code.
It's a real weird, trashy time that we're living in. I mean, he literally won the presidency like a reality show.
100%.
It's not just people are going, we have a reality show star as a president. It's like, not just that. He won. He played the election like a reality show. So, but my thing is this: is like the executive orders thing is a great point. Obama signed executive orders too, and a lot of people in this country were pissed about it. But it was not publicized, and it was not done with the flamboyance that Trump has done it. Trump is doing everything in a blow me kind of way.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, so to me, the least frightening side of the spectrum is, okay, either the curtain's just been drawn back completely, and this is just par for the course, except he's doing it with his dick on the table.
Yeah.
Or we truly do have, like, the worst case scenario, which would be we truly do have some orchestrated madman, charging towards some hopeful dictatorship in office or whatever. It's probably, in all reality, somewhere in between those two. You know what I mean? But, like, I don't, like... I agree with you. Like, I'm tired of people going online, and spouting out their opinion and just agreeing with people who already agree with them. It's just fucking, it's so arrogant and so condescending. I know people that voted for Hillary, and I know people that voted for Trump. Quite frankly, I don't agree with either of them.
Yeah.
I don't shame any of them.
Yeah.
People don't vote. People don't act most of the time out of malice or evil. People act out of confusion or fear or belief in what they're doing is the correct thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, you're a real arrogant piece of shit if you sit there and go, if you voted for Trump, you're an idiot asshole and you're wrong. Like, and that sucks. That sucks. The really smart people right now are the ones saying, maybe people are regretting that they voted for Trump right now. Maybe they're feeling differently. Maybe let's all come together. Let's talk. You know what I mean? Like, if you listen to true liberal radio, not fucking pop hit bullshit liberal radio, but like real liberal radio where it's a real conversation and it's very rational and level-headed. Most
the Anthony
of the
Cumia show.
So, like,
I gotta be honest with you. Part of me, like when I listen to Anthony and he spits out his politics, or Gavin McInnes, I don't look at them and go, I fucking hate them. I don't ever go, I hate them. Same way as I listen to liberal radio and I go, I don't hate them.
No, I don't. I've known Anthony for a long time. We certainly don't agree on a lot politically.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. Just we've never had too many deep discussions about it. But but I don't hate the guy for the way he thinks or his beliefs politically. Look. Just like I don't hate, I know people that are staunch Hillary supporters that I vehemently disagree with when it comes to politics. I don't hate them either.
Yeah.
I also know extreme liberals that didn't vote for Hillary because it was Hillary. I also know extreme conservatives that didn't vote for Trump. There are all types of people out there, is my point. And people that think unity is aligning yourself with a bunch of people that think what you think, you're a fucking idiot. You're stupid if that's what you think. That's not what unity is. Unity is when people with many different types of perspectives and clashing opinions can have a rational discussion. That's unity.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people, particularly people in the business we work in, see it that way. They see it as, I'm right, you're wrong. If you're not with me, you're against me. And I said to somebody earlier today, I'm like, that's the same thing the Sith say in Star Wars. You're either with me or you're my enemy.
Yeah.
It's like, so if you think like that, you're a bad guy. It doesn't matter what your cause is. If you think like that, you're a bad person. You're a bad guy.
Yeah.
So, like...
You're either with me or against me.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's like Nazi talk.
It really is.
That's fucking Nazi talk.
That's why I love Sarah Silverman.
Yes.
Sarah Silverman, when that white supremacist, well, I think we can all agree that white supremacy is wrong.
Right.
And being a neo-Nazi is a bad idea. And
Right.
we don't like those guys. When he got hit by that guy at the inauguration.
Right.
And a lot of guys, guys like Tim and Eric. I don't know their politics, but I'm assuming they're liberal because like they wrote a song about how we should beat that guy up.
Right.
Some people need to punch him more.
Right.
Which I get. I get that viewpoint. But Sarah Silverman was like, "Are we fucking kidding ourselves? Violence is never the answer." And I was like, "Yeah, that's right. Sarah doesn't fucking agree with this guy's politics. Of
course not,
But
yeah.
beating up. Trust me when I say this. All the liberals who are like, no, punch that guy hard as you want. Ooh, it's going to come back your way,
Well, it's
you're not going to like it.
and they're showing their ass right now. It's like, oh, so you've been full of shit this whole time?
Yeah.
This whole time you've been preaching this open-minded whatever. That's all been bullshit. You really think violence is okay? And it's like, look, I'm not an anti-violence guy. I think a little bit of violence is helpful. I think you need it.
Yeah.
I really do. I think you need it to keep you in line.
Yeah.
I think the days of hitting are too long gone.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean that I think if you're being interviewed on the news, you deserve to get socked in the face, even if you're saying something that I find despicable. At the same time, I'll laugh my fucking balls off of that video over and over.
Did you see the boys are back in town cut of it? Oh my God.
No.
It's so funny. And look, once again, I said I didn't like the guy getting hit, but when he got hit and every time they punt, they just do on a loop. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. It was so good.
Yeah, so it's like, look, I'm not going to get my panties in a bunch because, and that's not a. I mean, this,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
that's not a gender commentary. I'm just saying, like, I'm just using an expression.
I said on stage the other night. I said I had too many edibles, and I'm 44-year-old father of two married, and I'm in my man cave, and I realize I got to man the fuck up. Someone goes, you're not allowed to say that anymore. I was like, no, I am, because when I was a kid, I wasn't allowed to cry. So the term I had in my head was man the fuck up and don't be a pussy about it. You're not going to enjoy this for the next 4 hours. Let's fucking sit back here and don't bother anyone. Don't go into your house like a fucking coward and go, honey, I had too many edibles. You just man the fuck up, start drinking Jack, and you go, I'm gonna fucking deal with this.
Right, dude. And that bothers me too. Like this idea that there's no such thing as a male, particularly a white male, enduring any sort of abuse. That's such a condescending, shitty thing to do. You're not allowed to say that. It's like, oh, so what I went through wasn't abusive or didn't fuck me up in any way?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't allowed to cry? Because I had to choke down my fucking emotions and I couldn't express them in a healthy way? And it fucked with my head and God knows what else? That really bothers me, man. It's like the people that act like there's only one form of abuse, there's only one form of morality, there's only one form of ethics, fuck you, man. Fuck you. You're a fucking horrible, disgusting human being.
There's a really great woman. I wish I could remember her name, but she posted a thread about abuse. And I went through an abusive relationship one time, and it really, with like a bad person, and it really fucked me up. It fucked me up for a while. I had to go to therapy, and I read it, and I tweeted her and said, hey, this is super helpful. Thank you so much. And I could almost hear it in her eyes, like, no, or in her thing. I don't think she was, I think her name's Sarah Benacasa.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she was saying like that's really cool that you could understand it. And I felt like wanting to say, oh no, let me tell you my story. Like I know that what this is.
Right.
And I just was glad she posted it because it made me think. Yeah. And it made me realize, oh yeah, you know.
Sarah's cool.
She's really cool. She's really smart. I fucking love that.
Very
post.
smart. And she has I shouldn't say pretty. She has a great balanced view of things. I find her take on a lot of
more people
social
like
climate.
that.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of and look, I'll say this wholeheartedly. People like Jen Kirkman are important to our society. Jen Kirkman is probably not as much swinging both ways, or she's probably very far leaning left.
Right.
She I don't know if you remember, but she did the big post about getting catcalled in Australia.
Yes.
Like, and it's important that she does that. And by the way, if you're a fucking meathead like I am sometimes, you're like, dude, catcalling it's real. It's fucking very real.
Right.
But you need to hear the other side. You need to hear what her experience is so you
Absolutely.
can grow and learn. I don't think very many people that listen to this podcast catcall, obviously. I think it's a socioeconomic thing.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. And I'll say this. Kirkman's a friend of mine, too.
I love her.
She... we may not agree on 100% everything politically either.
Yeah.
But I know that she's the real deal. And I know she believes in what she says.
Yeah.
Just like I know Anthony believes in what he says. So I can respect that. I absolutely can respect that. Whether I agree or disagree it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether I agree with you. It matters, can I live in a world with you? But what I don't agree with and the people I don't approve of are the ones that are clearly just condescending and just positioning with their stances, because then it's a pose. Then it's a, you know what I mean? Like, then it's a look at me, look how good I am. It's the people that sit in the front row in church, in the front pew in church every Sunday, and then in the parking lot are shoving to the front of the line and cutting you off to get out or whatever.
It's the people in yoga class that fucking lobby, like fight to get the good position.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is fucking yoga, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you're supposed to be namaste.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
here you are fucking putting down 2 mats? Huh? What?
Exactly, yeah.
What's the other mat for? My friend's coming and he's on his way?
Yeah.
And no, you can't have this spot. Fuck you.
Exactly.
No, let's transition into your move out to LA.
Sure.
Because I'm curious about that. What was the moment where you said, I'm done with New York?
When I was finding myself being angry 24 hours a day.
Really?
I love New York. I miss New York. I really do. And I think that one day I may live there again in a much more forgiving circumstance.
See, you were quintessential New York. I mean, you and Burr and Bobby and Jay. You guys all were. You guys like. I feel like when I go back there, I don't know any New York comics anymore. Like,
I don't know any New York comics anymore. Most of the guys have either moved out of the city to have a family and don't live in the city anymore, or moved out here. Like, I know very few guys in New York anymore.
Really?
Well, all my New York friends live here now. That's why I never moved back.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not gonna. I know. I mean, I have friends back there still, but I mean, outside of Michelle Buteau and Joanne Grigioni, and Okerson and Kurt, it's like, I'd be kind of hard pressed to think of like, I'm still pretty tight with Marina Franklin and Keith Robinson, but it's like,
how's Keith doing, by the way?
Very well.
Good.
Yeah, he's great. He's performing again. And
okay, good.
For those of you who don't know, our friend Keith had a stroke, but he's doing very well.
I texted Bobby. Bobby's the one that texted me. He's like, giving you a heads up, Keith had a stroke. And I texted back, worse than Patrice's?
That's funny. I called Keith in the hospital the first time I called him, and I go, "Are you okay?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna recover. I'm gonna be fine." And I go, "You know what that means? Even when it came to strokes, Patrice was better than you."
See, that's the thing I miss about New York. They're like LA's got ball breaking, but LA's also got a very warm heart, like comedy wise. Like, I think it's podcasting brought us like tight and together.
Yeah,
and we don't. It's so globally different from where I started, where you were like duck your head, hoodie on, walk into the olive tree.
I almost said garden.
I know, I almost said garden too. And go to the bar and just get a cocktail so you could loosen up before they destroyed you.
Yeah, it was a tough scene. It was a lot of ball breaking. I mean, when I moved there,
What year did you move? Because you moved right after I left.
You were gone already. I moved whenever Tough Crowd came out. The first year I was in New York was when Tough Crowd premiered, because I remember moving to New York and the Comedy Cellar being Tough Crowd.
What a great fucking show that was.
Yeah, it was Tough Crowd. You'd go to that back table and it was Quinn, DePaulo, Keith, Patrice, Burr, Norton, Geraldo.
Geraldo was always over by the bar. I felt like every time in and out of sobriety, he was probably away from the bar.
Oh, and Judy Gold and who else who were some of the women on Tough Crowd? I know it was more man heavy but
Judy Gold was on a good.
Judy
deal.
was on a lot. Lampanelli
Sue
was
Costello.
never at the Cellar. Yeah. Like
Lampanelli always had I always felt like she had an outsider's they had an outsider's view of it. I think, by the way, and I don't know Lisa Lampanelli other than working with her in New York, and she does not remember me, and she does not like me. But
why didn't she like you?
Because I don't know.
I feel
man.
like I know Lisa. We're friendly. I feel like she would like you. You seem like the kind of guy she would like.
We had beef in Tampa one time.
Oh, okay.
I was doing radio, and she was doing a theater. I was doing the club, and I was on Cowhead's show, and she was going to come in, and I had the greatest compliment to pay her. I was really excited to see her. I had worked as a gay stripper at a gay club, a stripper at a gay club a year ahead of time, and a drag show was up, and one of the drag queens came up dressed as Lisa Lampanelli and played her album and lip synced her album.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And it was so cool, and I wanted to tell her that. And I was so excited to see her.
Right.
To go, hey, it's Bert. I used to work the door at the Boston Comedy Club.
Right.
And she'd be like, oh, fuck yeah. Oh, my God.
Right.
And she said, I don't work with features. And I was like...
Like she wouldn't appear on the radio.
She wouldn't appear on the
with
radio
you?
and then left.
What? Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's lame.
But anyway, she never. I mean, when I was there, she was never accepted by. I remember people being very cruel to her.
Yeah. Well, look, and as I sit there and go, oh, that's lame. She did that. Maybe that's just residual shit.
I'm sure it is. And part of me wanted to go, hey, Lisa, I know they made fun of you, and like I never did.
Yeah, you weren't part of it.
I'm never the one that fucking. I remember someone said the most brutal line. I won't say who said it, but they were making fun of her, and she was smiling, like laughing, and they weren't being nice.
Oh, Jesus!
And then they were like, look at her. I'm gonna try to look at her. She looks like the retarded girl that just got raped by the baseball team. Was like, see you guys tomorrow.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Almighty!
If I told you said that, you'd be shocked too.
Really?
Yeah. But I mean, no one. She was never really fully accepted, even when she got big. I don't think she ever felt totally accepted. By the way, which is a very fucking normal feeling in that scene.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'm not in any way judging Lisa for not feeling part of that scene. And after you just told me that line, I understand why she walked out of Cowhead show. I mean, because it becomes like this thing where it's like, I get it, dude. It's like it's war.
Yeah,
if you're not careful, you shoot your buddy in the face.
And she was murdering. She would go up and murder.
Yeah.
With her, with her act of like, I suck black guys' dicks, because it was the village, and that was what was coming into these rooms. Were like fucking 10 Puerto Rican guys with one guy going to prison tomorrow.
Yeah. And
she was dressed in like a gold chains and gold rings.
I remember that. I saw her first time I ever saw and met Lisa. I saw her at. I started in a black club in Philly called the Laugh House. You know the Laugh House.
Yeah. Is that where Jay and them?
Jay, Kurt, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Mike Vecchione. We all started there at different times, but I started after they were gone. Vecchione was there when I started. Anyway, the first time I ever saw her was they had a show called Thursday Night Hype that this guy, Ray Gordon, who's a dear friend of mine and was like my mentor early on. He hosted. It was his show, and it was always packed. And he'd have different headliners come in every week. And I had never once seen a white comedian on the show, aside from when like he let me do 5 minutes or Mike do 5. You know what I mean? And he went on stage to bring the headliner on and gave like almost a disclaimer of, if anybody's offended, you come talk to me. Fuck you. This is my girl. Like nobody's going to give her shit and whatever. And I was like, who is he bringing on stage? Like, and I thought I was expecting like Monique or somebody like that.
Yeah.
And he brings up Lisa, and it's this white lady. And I'm like, what the fuck? And dude, she fucking leveled that fucking room.
She destroyed.
In a way that like I don't know. I just got chills thinking about it. It was so fucking hard hitting. I've seen very few people in my career kill like that. Like, I'm talking like, it wasn't just, man, it was a good show. She really killed. It was like, the fucking show was over.
Can I tell you who the other person that is one, I don't know, hopefully you remember it the same, but like, do you know who else was one of those like people you did not want to follow because they came in at a disadvantage. Like a white woman in an ethnic room.
Right.
And like there were so many of that version where they were just doing like smart jokes.
Yeah.
And not to say that Lisa and this other person's jokes weren't smart, but Paula Bell.
Yeah, Paula's great.
Paula would just destroy.
Paula's great. And I always felt that way about Jessica Kirsten.
Oh, okay, hold on. You know the first time we met?
You and me?
Yeah.
Man,
we
I
were
don't
working
remember,
together
dude.
at comics.
Oh, is that the first time I ever met you?
This first time
I
we ever
remember
met.
that weekend.
I walked in, and you were like, "My name's Joe. I know you used to be in New York. It's good to meet you. I think we have some of the same friends." And I was like, "Oh, cool." And I was like, "This is gonna be a fun weekend." And then they're like, and you're like, "Just so you know, it's gonna be a rough weekend." And I went, "Really?" And you go, "Yeah, Jessica Kirson's featuring." And I was like, well, "Who is she?" And you're like, "It's going to be tough to follow." And I went,
Did I say that?
But you weren't being a dick. You were just like, it's high energy. It's a woman. It's fucking crazy. Like,
Right.
It is going to be fucking intense. And I'd never seen her. So I go around and I watch her. And it was just like, hi, what? Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, you undersold that. This is going to be impossible to follow. And then I think Zach Brampf came because it was her stepbrother or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? How many more guns do you have in your holster?
Yeah. She kills. I used to have.
She kills in such an epic fucking.
Yeah, I used to have to follow her sometimes to the Laugh Factory, and they were like the worst bombs I'd ever take. And she was so gutturally funny, because that's what you're saying. It's like when you say smart jokes, nobody's saying these performers aren't smart. They're brilliant. But what I know what you mean by that, when it's like people are going on stage and doing these very like almost like encyclopedia bits, well, if you read history, folks, the Civil War, you know what I mean? And they're citing all these things or whatever. And then somebody like Jessica gets up, and the bit is she's doing a black lady witnessing a UFO in the sky, and she's like doing an impression of what she thinks that would sound like. And then she starts doing like the gospel singing. It's a ship. Oh, Lord, it's a ship. I mean, it's fucking absurd. And it's so fucking funny. It's like Brian Regan kind of funny, where it just gets you in your fucking stomach, where you're like, Jesus Christ, dude, that's like such a simple thing, and it's so fucking undeniably funny. It's genius.
I said to someone, they go, I was doing a pre-interview for Conan, and they were like, "Why do you take your shirt off?" And I was like, "I don't know." My answer was honest, but I couldn't say it on the show because I didn't want to sound like I was shitty. But I go, I didn't get into comedy because I like the math of it. Like, there are guys that love the math of comedy.
Right.
That love to dissect, like, make a riddle. Work it backwards. I want a pajamas joke. Here we go. We're going to work it backwards.
Right.
And I go, and one of those guys that does that very well, and who I love, is Dimitri Martin.
Yeah.
I go, I didn't get in it to, like, Dimitri's, like, very thoughtful about his approach to everything. If he took his shirt off, there would be a fucking reason he was taking his shirt off.
Right. Dimitri is like the Bill Nye of comedy. It's all very thought out. It's all very, you know what I mean? Did you ever see his Notebook?
Dimitri's?
Yeah.
We started technically together, and I would go over to his house. He was married to a doctor at the time, and I would go to his house, and it was almost like serial killer-esque. Like, he'd get up and he goes, "I need to have 10 new jokes. I need to have 10 new game ideas. I want to have 10 new anagrams. I want to have 10 new," and he'd just do those, and he'd go, "All right, now it's time to walk 145,000 steps up to Central Park and back," or whatever, and then I'm going to go, and then I'm going to read. I'm going to go to he used to love going to the Museum of Radio and Television.
Yeah.
And just perusing just all the and he'd be like, "Oh, I spent like 3 hours there watching old Flip Wilson interviews." And I'm like, "What?"
Well, yeah, because it was pre-YouTube.
Yeah.
When my buddy Chip would come to New York to visit me, he'd always come for the night. We would go there every time because we were so enamored and this idea that you could go into this building and watch on demand the series finale of All in the Family or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that place was amazing.
But nothing to take away from Dimitri. But the thing is, like, I think myself included, Jessica, myself, Lisa Lampanelli, like the bigger, the bolder, the more murderous. Like, come on, get up there. I think now the older I get, I look at my storytelling and I go, I could do a little better. Like,
You're a monster storyteller.
I know, but today I was like, I'm a very lazy writer. Like, I'll get half of, I call it like plate spinning. I'll get the joke up and running, and I'll be like, he's fine. We'll get back to him.
I had to follow your before I did the TV version of This Is Not Happening. I did the live version a couple times, but I did it at Riot Fest one year, and I had to follow your story, which was on video. It was a clip because they were advertising the show coming out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What story was it?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
Tracy Morgan.
Because I left the fucking room because I was irritated. Because I was like, I got to follow fucking Kreischer's story. And not only is it Kreischer's story, it's killing on the video already. Now they're going to show it killing on the video to this audience. It's double killing now. Dude. I was really mad because it was the first time I ever did it. And I was like, God damn it. I was really fucking pissed.
That show that they taped was I want to say it was the pilot to sell to Comedy Central. Whew. It was so good.
You killed.
It was me, Bill Burr, and Jim Jeffries.
Jesus Christ.
And I go first. And I know Jim, but we're not close.
Right.
At the time. Not that we're close now, but we're a lot closer now.
Sure.
But and Bill's next. So I go up, I tell the Tracy Morgan story. It murders.
Yeah.
Like murders. But I knew it murdered, but it murders. And Ari asked me, will you please tell this story? We're trying to sell it.
Right.
And I was like, sure. So I tell it. And I get off, and Bill and Jim are sitting there going, I didn't know we were doing fucking bits. And I go, no, it's not. It's a story. It's what Ari asked me to tell. And they're like, motherfucker. And now you can see them like working. And I was like, the only time I've ever seen these two monsters of comedy been like, what the fuck, Kreischer? Like, how often do you tell it? I go, I've told it. I've never told it on stage. I'd never told it on stage before that time. And he was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then they told the best fucking stories ever. And Ari's in the back going, I just caught lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, yeah. Well, then when I did the TV show, I follow Artie Lang, who's a good friend.
Yeah.
Artie goes up, so I'm already like, God damn it. Artie's supposed to close it. He has to go first, right? At like the last minute.
Yeah.
He's like, Joe, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I got to get out of here. I'm done. I'm sorry. I got to go first. I'm like, okay, it's fine. What am I going to say? No?
Yeah.
And then he tells me to go fuck myself.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, all right, fuck. So Artie goes up. Everybody's all excited because it's Artie. Tells this story about being in a pig costume on Mad TV and going to buy Coke and driving and ripping the pig prosthetics off his face and doing blow in like his fucking Ferrari or whatever he was driving, and like people seeing a pig doing Coke on the fucking... Dude, it was the craziest fucking story I've ever heard.
Got some great stories.
And it is fucking destroying. It is destroying. And I'm just like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Right? So he finishes the story. It's like, by the way, it's like a 20-minute fucking story. It's like an epic. He finishes the story. Ari walks to the foot of the stage. And Artie goes, yeah, I guess that's it. And then the crowd's kind of like, ah. And Ari goes, tell another story, dude. And walks away. And Artie tells like another 15-minute epic.
Dude.
And I'm like, God damn it, stop it right now, please.
Did the first time we did This Is Not Happening for TV, I go up, I tell the Fighting a Bear story.
I think that's the one that is the one they played at the thing.
Oh, that might have been it. Yeah,
that is the one because I remember the bear. Yes, I did watch enough of it.
I tell the Fighting the Bear story. I forget who's after me, but it's not someone that is like, it's not someone that is, it's someone that Comedy Central requested.
Right.
You know what that means? It's like,
yes.
So like, it's not a comic. It's like someone like an actor who's telling a fable. Yeah. And so, which is good sometimes, but then
fable.
Sometimes you're like, hey man, like, you know, it is Comedy Central. We are stand-up comics. We have been working our whole life for this. I understand that person is very noteworthy, but like, it's gonna not be great. They're not gonna be the best storyteller.
Right. Sure.
Like, this is a storytelling show.
Right.
Now adversely, there are some amazing, like Henry Rollins is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But but he does live spoken word.
Well, he also essentially does a weird form of stand-up comedy.
Yeah, exactly. And so I tell the fight in the bear story, and I can see the person ready to come up, and they're just sweating bullets. I don't know who it is. I can't remember. And it's not whoever was on the show with me, because that's not how it went back then. You just gang shot a bunch of them, and they pieced together for time whoever's worked together.
Right.
And so they're fucking sweating it. And I go, all right, that's my time. And Ari comes up and he's like, would you tell the machine story? And so I tell the machine story, and and that's all these people wanted to hear, and it destroys. And I get off, and the other person's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know.
Great.
Man. Yeah.
That's fucking great. I love it. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I ended up having a great set. I should throw that part in.
Well, yeah,
that ended up having a good story.
You're fucking amazing. What's so funny is me and Fultron said this, because you had to follow
Silverman. It was Silverman.
Sarah Silverman.
At the Comedy Jam?
At the Comedy Jam. And we were like, this is going to be a tough one for Joe. Because she's, first of all, I am a massive Sarah fan. Like, legit, of her comedy, as her as a person. And I do think she's absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
Like, so much.
Yeah.
But, man, she sang Bottle of Red.
Yeah,
Billy
Billy Joel.
White. And it took down the house, and she did great stand-up before that.
Yes.
And then you get up.
And she's there with Michael Sheen, who's one of my favorite actors.
By the way.
I'm sitting in the green room talking to her and Michael Sheen, like, just trying to play it cool. Like, we're just two dudes talking. And he's like, oh, mate, you're doing the Rush song. I love Rush. Fucking A. What, you know, and I'm just, like, trying to be like, yeah, dude, they're cool, man. You know?
I didn't know he was an actor. I didn't know who he was. And then we leave that night. Or at the end of the night, Sarah said something like, hey, can you not put any of my set in that? Because I was vlogging at the time.
Yeah.
So can you make sure that none of my set's in that? And I go, of course. And I was like, sure. And I won't put in your boyfriend. And she was like, oh, that's fine. Or something like, that's fine.
Right.
He's used to it. And I was like, okay. I was like, used to it. Like, what the fuck? I go, who is this guy? I think he's a nice enough guy.
Right. He's very nice.
And then it was really sweet. That's why I didn't think he was famous. Turns out he's like a fucking massive actor.
Yeah, dude, he's in Frost Nixon, one of my favorite movies in the last, 10 years.
He's
He's
great.
fucking amazing.
But the best part is, I think I had to follow you.
Yes.
And so I'm getting ready, and Full Charge is backstage watching you start singing, and he comes out and he's like, oh shit, Joe's not in trouble. Joe's not in trouble. And I go, what? And I go out, and Full Charge goes, someone goes, Joe's in like bands growing up. And I went, I'm fucking dead.
No way, dude. Because you brought the house down.
Well, no, I did the you can find it online on my vlog. It's I'm sure, I don't know if it says Goddamn Comedy Jam, but I did Plush, because he had just died.
Yeah.
And I did it in assless chaps and a thong.
Yeah, and I sent pictures of that to Joanne Grigioni from backstage.
Oh, yeah?
And she was like, man, you guys must be having a blast. And I was like, we're fucking having a great time over here.
That's the one thing I always missed. I feel like I'm bummed out I didn't get to have, is Joanne and Ann were fun as fuck to party with. Right
the
here.
Best.
Like, I party with them, I'm sure, but not like the extent of which, like, there was a period in New York where I would say it was like Schumer and Nikki and you and Big J and Kurt and Mulaney and Nick Kroll, like everyone was at and everyone was partying with Ann and I remember saying, like, someone was like, oh yeah, we're going out with Ann and Joanne, and I was like, oh yeah, because we were doing a show called Reality Bites Back at the time, and I was like, you go party with Comedy Central? I mean, I felt so separated from the business.
Oh, they're the best, man. They're the best. But like they were. You know, we were all. I mean, not that any of us are old, but we were all younger then. We were all in our 20s or early 30s. So it was a little easier to get away with, the late nights or whatever else. But it was the best time. There was a stretch where. I remember when Amy was doing that Reality Bites Back show you're talking about.
Yeah.
She would have these get-togethers, and it'd be Amy. I don't think Nikki lived there yet. Maybe she did.
Nikki was in Kansas City.
Yeah. But it'd
or
be
St.
like
Louis.
Amy, Jesselnick, Joanne, Ann, Al Jackson, me, sometimes like a Mulaney, Rachel Feinstein. Man, we would just we'd go over to Amy's and just get fucking hammered.
Yeah.
Like, and so a lot of the times it was just to watch Reality Bites Back. Like, she'd be like, "It's on tonight, come over," and we wouldn't really watch it; it would just be on.
She was on the episode I got kicked off on. I got naked and face fucked Michael Ian Black, and I was on the road that weekend, and I was like, "This is gonna fuck up my career forever. This is legit gonna fuck up my career."
Why?
Because I didn't know if it was funny or not, and so like I get kicked off. And
you thought the show in general?
No. I thought
was Mike cool with it?
Yeah, well, he ended up breaking character, but they could have edited that to look very bad.
Okay,
like just to look bad, to be like they could have made it juicy where it's just like, oh, this man's a fool,
right?
But like I was supposed to give him my swim trunks back, and he didn't think I took my swim trunks off, and he didn't think I'd really give them to him, and then let alone he's like, you've made a series of poor life decisions, Bert. And I was like, and they just keep getting worse. And I knock down all the chairs on the boardroom table. I get up on the boardroom table, start like air humping him on my knees. I'm humping his face. And then I put my feet over the back of his chair and I pull him into my junk. And he's just like veering away like, no. And he goes, I go, look at it, Michael, look at it. And he goes, I'm afraid I'll turn to stone. And I said, party you will. And then I kicked a flip and spun like a breakdance spin on my back and stuck it right in front of him, and he fucking fell apart laughing. and they kept in him laughing. They kept in him breaking character, which is so not. I mean, it made it
right.
But Amy texted me. I was on the road. She texted me immediately. It was back when Amy and I were close, and she was like, "Fucking best part of the series ever." You have nothing to be worried. Because I told her I was really super worried.
Right.
And she's like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. You're going to be so happy with it. And I was like, oh, thank you, Amy.
I miss those days, man. They were, I'm happy for Amy and her success. We certainly don't have the contact we used to have.
Yeah.
Which is not a passive slight or anything. It's just things happen and people move into different directions or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I miss those days. Just because they were simpler, man. There was just, you look back and you go, oh, I was so much more broke and everything seemed much more of a competition and this and that. But it's like, you know what, man, it was just a simple time. Like, it was enough on a Wednesday night to like go and hang out in her living room with 6 good friends and drink bottles of wine and laugh, and there wasn't any. There didn't need to be a lot more to it than that. You know what I mean? There wasn't any quest for anything much greater because none of us knew what was coming the next day.
I said that I was talking to Jay about that, Big Jay. When I was in New York, I remember we used to go to the Bag It In every night after the show.
Yeah, me too.
That was where everyone gathered.
And you could also drink for almost nothing. So your money,
$25 a night, and I'd just go down and give it to them.
Yeah,
and go, I'm going to just keep drinking until this runs out. And they would never cut me off.
Right.
And I would just drink beer, like just pints the whole night, and sit in that little corner by the window.
Yep.
And
and then they'd lock the doors, and you could smoke weed in there and shit. Like, you did do the shut in if you were one of the comics.
Those were some really. And I said to Big J, I said, this is what I've said. I've always said to the people that I'm friends with, like I don't think I have any like friends that I met when they were famous. I take that back. Rogan, I met when he was famous.
Right.
I was such a massive fan of his.
Right.
But like, I was friends with Big J when there was nothing to gain.
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like the years where I hung out most with Amy were years where there was absolutely no benefit. Let's put it this way: either one of us could have become famous at that point. You know what I mean?
If you had told me on Reality Bites Back that she would be the most famous comic, other than Kev, that I knew,
it's insane.
I would have been like, you're out of your fucking mind. And not to say that she wasn't funny, but I just was like, there's like the odds. Like, what the fuck?
Well, that's my point. It's like you're not even thinking about any of that back then.
Yeah.
It's not. And once that happens,
I had no. Here's the thing I will say. I had never, ever, ever, ever had an ulterior motive with Amy Schumer ever in my life. She could get me nothing. She could give me nothing. It was the exact opposite. I was friends with her only because I thought she was funny. Like, I thought she was funny.
Right.
And we'd let her stay at her house. She'd stay at my sister's house. My sisters liked her. They had nothing to gain from her. They had they just liked her.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was just a simpler time. Nobody could have ever thought any of us would be doing our specials, let alone fucking movies or whatever else. You know what I mean? So it's like, it was just an easier time. Like, and I do miss it. Because and that's why I say earlier, like, Amy and I aren't we're not really at all in contact anymore. But again, it's not because of anything bad.
Yeah,
it's because
it's just her. Right, she has to take a Senate meeting to talk about Chuck Schumer's crocodile tears. That's what she's doing today. She's taking a fucking meeting with the Senate. Like,
really?
That's her life now. That's her life.
So that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Once you move into a certain stratosphere, it's like it's just a different way of existing. And there's something so genuine and pure and beautiful about when nobody really has any money. And it's a big deal that you can finally afford a one-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
And it's a big deal that you can finally go out to the bar on a Tuesday with your friends because you can afford to drop $35 and not have to go to the Bag It Inn and ask Ronan, the bartender, to please just give you, like you said, as much as you can for this amount of money. You know, like I miss those days. Not to say I don't like it here. I really like LA. I feel really lucky to have the life I have here. I feel really lucky to be doing the things I'm doing now, to have new friends. You know, we don't hang out a ton, but you're a guy I consider a pal. So it's like, you know, and like you're one of the many people I feel like I've met out here that I'm like, oh, it's like that guy is here. That makes LA better.
The LA right now, you know, but there is like a weird thing. Like I've known Bill for 19 years,
right?
But even still, it's like one of the things Bill said. I did a podcast with him, and he forgot we were doing a podcast. So he comes over to hang with me and Segura, and I have mics out, and he's like, oh, so we're leveraging our friendships to get better high in the business, huh?
Right.
And you're like, God damn it. Like I love hanging out with Bill, but at the same time, I realize if I just put a mic out, I could make fucking $40,000. You know, it would, you know, it stinks. But like, and the same with Joe. It's like, I talked to Joe the other day and he goes, he's like, you know what? Just come on the podcast, save it for the podcast. And I'm like, cool. Like,
right.
You know, but like then Joe texts, you know, this is the thing that Joe has nothing to gain from me. So like, I don't get him anything. Right. Joe is the you know, master of his own domain. And he just texts me and he's like, hey man, I'm doing a show at the Ice House. You want to come out and hang out? And you're like, that's friendship. That's what I got into this business for, was to be with a bunch of, like, I never understood the guys that are like, I'm going to do my set and then go right home. And you're like, you don't want to hang out with everybody?
Right.
You don't want to talk shit? You don't want to tell lies about other people?
Right. Well, and that was the beauty of, you know, to go circle back to New York, like, that New York scene was great for that, you know?
Yeah.
It was especially the Cellar at that time that we were discussing. That was a great time to walk in there and just hang out. Like, you could hang just night after night till 4 a.m. because it was open till 4.
Yeah.
As most New York bars are, or many are. And you could just sit there till 4 a.m. And then at 4 a.m. you'd go out in the street, and then you'd stand in the street till 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Smoking cigarettes and just talking shit. And it was laughing harder than you've ever laughed in your life. You know what I mean? Like, that's the fun part. That's the one thing I miss about New York. Not the one thing, but that's one of the things I miss about the New York comedy scene. But I also am sort of grateful that it doesn't exist in the same way out here, because it has kept me from staying up till 5 a.m. every fucking night and getting up earlier.
It exists
being more
differently.
Productive for myself.
In L.A., or my experience in L.A., it's like it happens at the store, and you go to the store, and either everyone's in the green room for the main room, or everyone's in the back bar. And you get a very condensed version of it, and it's very loving in a weird way. It's not as ball breaky as it was.
Yeah,
like I had thin skin.
Me too.
I used to get my feelings hurt all the fucking time.
I would love to be a part of that scene over there, man.
Do you not work over the store?
No.
Just call Red Band, right?
Oh yeah, very.
Call
well.
Red Band and do some main room shows and get in. They'll see you, and then that's how it works.
They've seen me. They were flat out like, we don't have any more room for anybody right now.
They said that to me.
Yeah.
By the way, I just got past. Everyone listen to this.
Oh, you
knows
just got past.
I just got past the store.
When?
I don't know. Someone can tell me online. Probably like 6 months ago.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
like,
there's still hope.
Oh, yeah. I'm 44. I just got past.
Okay, good.
So like, and I had tried a bunch when it was under different management, and then I think Bill and Al lobbied for me, and they were like, Adam's like, I just don't have room for him, man. I don't have room for him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, and he was like, I'm really sorry. I think you're hilarious.
That's what he said.
Obviously, I want to put you
to me.
in.
He was a gentleman. Yeah. He was really sweet.
He was really
about
cool,
it.
and he was like, I just don't have room. You have no idea. He goes, I got 13 more comics than I got spots every fucking day.
Right.
And I was like, okay. And I hurt my feelings, and I didn't know how to take it. And I was like, fine, I guess this is just something that doesn't happen.
That's how I felt, too. And I was like, it's not his fault, but I'm just sad.
It's not his fault.
It's like you ask a girl out, she says no. It's like, well, I can't be mad at her.
Yeah.
But I'm still a little sad.
And then I ran into him in Montreal, and he was like, hey, man, you're passed. And I was like, really? And he was like, yeah, I got room. You're passed. I've wanted you. I wanted to pass you when I first got to the club, but I couldn't. I just couldn't. I really appreciate you being cool. Thank you, man. And he's like, you're passed. And I was like, he's like, calling your avails on Monday. And I was like, fuck yes. And then I called him my avails, and I was like, and dude, it is the greatest place, because you call in your veils and everyone knows it's your first night getting there as a paid regular, and so everyone's so excited for you. And you go up and you do your spot, and everyone comes and goes, great job. And but the hang that you get at the store is like the other night. It was me, I think it was, I don't know, me, Fitzsimmons, Rogan, and Norm Macdonald, and Norm Macdonald just fucking goes off on a rant. And it's all fans of comedy back there.
Yeah. And
everyone's watching one of the greatest comics that's ever lived just tell story after story, and no one's interrupting. Everyone's just like wide-eyed, like,
right.
Holy shit. That's the beauty of the store. It's like Ron White going, all right, everyone up to my house. And you're like, fuck. And like, we're going to Ron White's house.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dude, the store is great. I would not.
Wait, what did you do at Ron? Come on, man.
I didn't go.
Why?
I had a flight the next day. I had a flight at 6 a.m. and I was like, if I do this, I'm going to be dying tomorrow. I can't do this to my body. And I was like,
all right, fair enough.
I go, I know that this will happen again. That he'll invite people up, and he invited people up. It's happened twice. Once at the store, and then once after the goddamn comedy jam I did with him and Bert. He was like, let's go to my house and throw a party. And I had a flight that night. I was like, motherfucker.
That's hilarious, man.
I've been to his house and partied.
That guy still likes to hang.
He's the best, man. And guys like him at the store is like, it makes it like a big fucking family. And
man, guys like Ron make me go, why am I taking a booze break? Why?
The truth is,
that guy seems like he's having a good time.
Yeah, he's our canary in the mine. As long as Ron's still fucking doing spots, that means I can call him my avails.
God damn it. All I want to do tonight is have drinks. I'm going out of my fucking mind.
What are you supposed to do
I don't know
tonight?
if that's a bad sign or a good sign. I actually have to get together to brainstorm for a pilot that I'm doing with some friends.
Who? Anyone I know?
Yeah, Michelle Buteau.
Okay.
Who is one of my best friends. She and I are the co-hosts of this thing. And then my friend Eric Abrams, who used to work at Comedy Central.
Fuck you, Eric.
And
I just tried to get Eric to collaborate on a pilot with me, and he's like, I can't. I got too much shit going on.
My friend, well, if it makes you feel better, we started on this a year ago.
I know. He said we talked the other night at the All Things Comedy meeting.
Yeah.
And he was like, dude, you know I want to work with you. You know I love you, but I got 2 projects I'm working on. I got my own ideas, and people keep saying, if you don't start working on your own stuff, then you're never going to work on your own stuff.
That's why I stopped staff writing.
Yeah.
That's exactly why. And the second I said I'm never staff writing again, we sold this fucking thing. And I was like, okay, that's enough of a sign that I did the right thing.
Yeah.
But and Jesse Shapiro, who's also a friend.
I love Jesse.
Guy. Yeah. So 4 really great people. So tonight we have to get together. I can't talk about what the project is, but we are getting together tonight to sort of have like a team building exercise. Like, meaning, hey guys, we have to really be able to create in a free space together, and we don't all know one another that well.
Yeah.
let's get together. Let's establish our tone, our vibe. Let's have fun. Let's get laughing. Like, let's just get a good energy going and kick some ideas around. So it's like, all I want to do, I live in Atwater, which is, in my opinion, do you know Atwater?
Yeah. It's right behind Eagle Rock.
It's between like Eagle Rock, Glendale, and Los Feliz.
Okay, yeah, I like that area.
It's the fucking greatest neighborhood.
Yeah.
Just bars. We have a bar in my hood. It's walking distance from where I live. It's called The Roost. It's one of the best dive bars in L.A. Cash only. This little old Asian couple runs it. They rent out the kitchen. This other Asian lady is whipping up shit in the kitchen. It's fucking delicious. It's a dive, dude. Red vinyl.
Holy
killer jukebox. At Christmas time, it's front to back, floor to ceiling, like the white Christmas trees, like those fucking Northeast Philly Christmas trees. Lights everywhere. Dude, it is the fucking greatest. All I want to do is be like, guys, fuck this, because we're meeting at my place. Let's go over there. Let's sit down. Let's start the fucking pictures coming. And let's just have some fucking fun and start talking.
You've got 9 days under your belt. You could definitely have 1 day off. That's the way I look at it.
And I also have to tomorrow. I have to do getting Doug with high. And I'm like, I called my buddy today. I was like, dude, I know I said I'm on this regimen. I was like, I might have to break that shit tomorrow.
Give yourself 2 days off.
I was like, I can't go on camera and just smoke weed without drinking anything. I'll have a fucking panic attack.
Dude.
Yeah.
I cannot. I still haven't done Getting Doug with High. And I love that podcast. I love that show.
Yeah.
I listen to the podcast.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I wouldn't be able to do it sober.
No,
I need a bottle of
Here's
wine.
my plan. And I'm sure Doug would approve. I'm assuming. I don't really know Doug that well, but
Really? Oh yeah, he'd approve. Bring 100 cheeseburgers.
Well, I'll do that. But I'm going to get up tomorrow morning at like 9:30.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fucking start waking and baking because they're picking me up at 12:15
Really?
p.m. to go do the internet studio one.
Yeah, that's a great place.
So I'm gonna I think I'm gonna wake and bake all morning. So by the time I get there, I'm like, I'm cool, man. Like, I'm ready to smoke some serious weed with you, and I'm not gonna freak out. I don't want to break the fucking seal on camera with him.
Break the seal. That's what makes it great. Break the seal and possibly freak out. Do you realize how viral that video would go? Have you ever seen the video of, I think it's Owen Benjamin eating edibles with Joey Diaz and having a panic attack?
No.
It is fucking awesome. He eats edibles with Joey, and he eats way too much, and he eats 10,000 milligrams or whatever Joey eats.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
All of a sudden, he starts going like this. Was it no? Is it Owen or is it Theo? Anyway, it's like this, and then he just goes, "I need to leave, man," and he just gets up and walks out. It is so great. It is so great. It is so great. Go get what you should do is just go break the seal there. Have that energy. That energy will make it for a great show. I'm talking as a fan of the show. And then bring yourself a bottle. Bring yourself a nice little fucking fifth or something. Few pops.
I might have a few pops before I go on camera.
That's a good call.
Is that cheating?
Nope.
All right.
That I would definitely do that.
All right, I'll have a few pops before I go on camera. That'll in place of the wake and bake.
That'll loosen you up.
And then I'll break the seal there.
Yeah, because I don't know. I get high. When I do Rogan, I'll get high before I start drinking. And there's always like a solid 15 minutes where I go, it happens every time, where I go, I feel like I'm inside a podcast.
That's so funny, dude.
Because I have headsets on and I listen to the podcast so much. I go, I am inside a podcast.
That's so funny, dude. I have a story about going. I don't tell it on stage. I just tell it in life sometimes. But I went to see Fu Manchu, one of my favorite bands ever, at the Troubadour. And this was when I didn't smoke. I had been off weed for years. I didn't really smoke it at all. Now I smoke fairly regularly now.
Yeah.
But I either have to be alone or with people I know really well or drinking.
Yeah.
I can't just blaze the fuck up with whatever. That's why I'm afraid tomorrow that I'm going to be like a little jittery because I don't know Doug that well.
By the way, I'll watch it live. If just fucking go in.
Yeah.
Get a few pops when you go. I will watch it live and I will chat thread in it. I'll comment.
All right.
I can't fucking wait.
They're picking me up at 12:15 tomorrow. So
Yeah, I got nothing to do tomorrow. I kind of wish I was going with you.
why don't you just come with me?
Because
what?
because I have a flight tomorrow. I don't want to get fucking baked and then get on a plane.
You have a flight. I thought you said a fight. I was like, what do you mean fight? What are you talking about? So anyway, but I went to see Fu Manchu, and it was at a period where I hadn't smoked weed in a long, long time. And we're drinking at my buddy and his wife were in town, and it's the last night. We're all going to go to the show at the Troubadour. So we're drinking at my place, and I take like a hit of weed. I'm like, they're a stoner rock band. I got to be a little high.
Yeah.
We're outside waiting for the Uber. They split. They're breaking up a cookie. They're fucking eating it. There's a quarter of it left. They're like, I don't want any more. I don't want do you want this, Joe? It's a little quarter. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. It's a quarter of a cookie. I pop it, dude. Not even knowing what the milligram. I didn't even know that was a thing yet.
Oh.
Because I was still pretty new to L.A. We go to the Troubadour. I'm feeling fucking good. I go to the bar. I get 2 double Jack Daniels on ice. So they give me 2 full fucking cups. Like cups.
Yeah.
Of Jack Daniels. We go into the fucking room. I'm finished both of them within the 10 minutes that we're standing there waiting for the band to come on. Because we didn't see the opener. We just went for the headliner. They come on, dude. I was like in fucking heaven. And the way I always tell the story is by the 4th song, I was like, am I in the band? What is happening right now? And then, dude, I crashed, and I was like, it was exactly like that Diaz thing you were talking about. I turned to my buddy, and I was like, I got to get out of here right now, because I felt like I had eaten a pound of mushrooms.
Yeah.
And I was freaking, dude. And we got home, and I was like, oh, my God. And I was on my couch, and they're like, listen, dude, we're going to walk across the street to McDonald's and get you some food. It's cool, dude. You're cool. Don't sweat it, man, all right? And I remember they went to McDonald's. I was sitting on my couch, and I remember thinking, this is how you die. This is how you're going to die. This is how, like, when people go, it was weird. We were just out having fun, and he just died. We didn't know why he died.
Yeah.
Or he just died in his sleep. There was no, like, hard drugs in his system. I was like, this is what they're talking about. I'm going to fucking
Makes
die.
sense.
And then I didn't die. But, you know.
Dude, I've had a number of times where I, like, ate too much, because there was a period of time where I don't know if it was, you know, one of the spirals I get into, but I get in the man cave and I have a cocktail and it's just, I can't find the bottom of it. You know, I'm like, fuck, this isn't working. Like,
That sucks when that happens, when you can't get drunk.
and I'm just like, and then I'm like, oh, you know, my sisters gave me these edibles. So I popped a handful of goldfish one time.
How many?
Like, just a handful. I figured it's a big bag. Figured pour a handful. That would be.
Oh, no, dude.
I called my sisters and they were like, you should have had like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
They're like, how many did you have? I was like, maybe 15. And they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then my butthole connects to the couch. I feel it connect. And I went, oh, this is bad. This is really bad. And then the next morning I had to wake up and go to do shit at my daughter's school. And I was still fucking high. And I was just like, well, when's this going to go away?
What was the peak of the high?
When I was having a panic attack in bed, with a big glass of Jack, just wolfing it down so I'd pass out.
Yeah, and that makes it worse because you're not falling asleep, and then you're getting drunker, and then the drunker is bringing out the more stoned. And
They say never eat edibles on an empty stomach.
Really?
Yeah, they say that it's the same as, so like when you take Xanax, I take Xanax. I used to take it a lot, but I take it sometimes. Like if I'm home and I'll be like, oh, I'll take it at 4:00. It will make me not drink. And so I take a Xanax, and they say take it on an empty stomach, and you feel it. If you don't take it on an empty stomach, you almost don't feel it. But I take such a low milligram that might be another reason.
When you say you feel, I've never felt it, and I've never taken it on an empty stomach. What do you mean by
Xanax?
You feel it? Yeah.
You never take?
No, I have it. I take it.
Yeah?
But I take it on a full stomach, and usually just before bed and it just kind of helps me calmly sleep, like without.
How much? What's your milligram?
5 or 10 or something.
It's not 5 milligrams.
Why, is that a lot? Or 0.5?
0.5. It's 0.5.
Yeah, I guess 0.5.
5 milligrams. You would not be getting out of bed.
Well, why? But why do they? Why do they say?
They make them. I had a dentist one time, and I said to him, I said, I have a flight tonight, and I just gotten a root canal, and he was putting me on antibiotics, and I said, but I have a flight tonight. Can you give me something for my flight? And he goes, oh yeah, I'll give you a Xanax, and I was like, cool. And he's like, well, you want one for there and then one for the ride back? And I go, yeah, I'll do that. And so he gives them to me. They're 4 milligrams.
4?
Those are like called Xanny bars. And
they're like the big ones?
Yeah, and I fucking eat it at the airport, and all of a sudden I'm literally drooling. Like, I remember I was trying to stand, but I was wobbling. And so I sat down and I was just hunched over like a junkie. And I was like, get me in this plane. And I got in the plane. I was flying to Tampa. I got in the plane and I was out. And I didn't come back for like a full day afterwards. And then I broke that other one into 100 pieces and ate little bits of it for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I guess I have 0.5s, but I'll say I'll take them before bed, and I'll be calm, and I'll just fall asleep. But then I have a really hard time waking up the next morning.
Yeah. Okay. Can I tell you what I do? I take them at like 4:00 in the afternoon, and that way you ride it. You're calm and relaxed throughout the evening, and then when you get in bed, you'll still fall asleep like a dream. And then when you wake up, it's been in your system for like fucking 14 hours, and so it's worked its way out.
But what do you mean by you'll feel it? What does that mean?
You don't feel Xanax?
No, I've never. My buddy always described it perfectly to me.
How often do you take them?
Not often.
It just levels you out. You just
no. I feel that part of it, but he always pointed out that it was a good point. He would say it's not like you feel affected by it. He was like, you'll just realize, oh, I'm not nervous.
Yeah,
it's more like a realization of like, oh, I feel calm.
Oh, I was on those. My first blood pressure medicine was beta blockers. And I'd take them. And I'd be like, "Oh, I'm cool as fuck right now." Like I remember I took one, and I had a car service taking me from a college gig to shoot TV, and it was like a 5-hour car ride, and I was like, I'm just gonna get a couple bottles of wine for the fucking ride, and I'll just wolf back wine and watch Bonnie McFarlane's movie, the documentary. And I get in the car and I just go, I don't really need the wine. I was like, I don't feel nervous. Like, right. I thought I'd feel nervous. I go, I feel fine. I was like, no wine. And I didn't drink wine the whole night. And I was like, that's odd. And then the next day I got up and I was like, got done our shoot. And I was like, maybe I'll get a drink. And I was like, I don't feel like I need it. And then I said to my cardiologist, I said my blood pressure was super fucking low. And he goes, oh yeah, that's a beta blocker. What it does is it gets rid of your nerves. And I went, are you serious? I go, how come I haven't been on these my whole fucking life?
Right.
Half of me drinking is getting nervous about going to bed.
Right. So let me ask you this. If I take a Xanax when I get home tonight, will I not want to drink later?
No. That has nothing to do with not wanting to drink. It's just for me, I don't drink and do pills at the same time.
Right.
And so if I take a Xanax, I will not drink.
But you still feel like you want to drink?
I would love a drink right now.
But do you get the beta blocker thing where you're like, I don't need the drink?
Oh no. Yes. So last night I'd come in off the road Sunday, and we ended up drinking all day Sunday. Or we had friends over and we stayed out late, and it was just fucking great. It was a really great night. And so we ended up partying. Monday, I'm like really hungover. My back hurts, my shoulder hurts. I feel like I'm having a heart attack, and I'm like, oh,
it's the worst.
And I'm just like so hungover that like by the time my wife comes home and she's like, hey, we have a party at your sister's house. I'm like, oh shit, I could totally use a drink.
Right.
Because if not, I was going to take a Xanax and go to bed. And then I was like, I could totally use a drink. And I was like, yes. Had I taken a Xanax, I wouldn't have needed a drink at all. But in that moment, I was like, I'm hungover as shit. I know a drink will right this boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, if I take Xanax, I definitely am pretty chill, but there's definitely been times I've taken Xanax and be like, I could use a cocktail, maybe take this up a notch.
When did you slow your drinking down?
I don't know. People who listen to this have been to my live shows are like, it's slowed down. I slowed it down when I stopped doing Travel Channel.
Which was what, 2 years ago?
No, it was like very recently, like 6 months ago.
Because I was going to say, like when I met you in New York, which was probably 8 years ago at this point.
Definitely more than that.
9 years ago? I mean, it wasn't that much. I've only been doing comedy 15 years.
Yeah.
It wasn't 10 years ago.
Maybe you're right. You might be right.
But when I met you in New York, you were you were definitely not. I'm having four drinks over 2 hours, guy.
Oh,
like you were,
no. I was putting them back.
Yeah,
I still get like that, by the way. I might have misjudged my drinking, but
but that's also why I'm like, shit, maybe I got to pump the brakes on this a little bit. Is because like I sometimes have a hard time not doing that. You know what I mean? But then I start to do this age game where I go, well, I'm 39, like Bert's 44. I got a few years before I got to worry about it.
And when I was 40, I quit drinking for 2 months, up to my 40th birthday. And then my drinking slowed drastically. But then my TV show Trip Flip started giving me a little bit of PTSD, and I didn't realize it was happening. And I didn't realize, and I was a big mess. I was a mess from my 40th up until my 44th birthday. I was a big mess because I was really uncomfortable with what I was doing every single day. I was jumping out of airplanes and jumping off of fucking buildings and jumping off of stadiums and swimming with sharks and fucking playing like paddleboarding with hippos. And I was like, none of this shit was fucking appetizing to me.
Right.
And because it was like, I was doing it and they were shooting me doing it, but they weren't putting it in the show most of the time.
Right.
So I was like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I was really having a hard time. And my wife, I had a spin out in Knoxville, and my wife was like,
"What do you mean?"
Fucking, it had happened before. It's probably happened like 3 times where it's like, just old Bertie boy's not taking care of himself and just partying and partying and then partying and harder, and then next thing you know, I can't find a bottle of wine, and I'm in a fucking hotel room in Paris, and I'm shaking. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm having panic attacks, and I'm like, this isn't good. Like, I don't want to get on a plane tomorrow. I'm scared. I'm going to die, like, really bad. And it was a lot of my doctor said it was my thyroid mostly. But it was also partying and being abroad and being like, I had a month where I flew back and forth from Italy 3 times and then to Paris. And then you go heli skiing in Switzerland and you almost die on a mountain. And no, I mean, I'm hyperbole, but you get injured and you're like, and then one day you're in Paris and you're just like, and you've been partying in Paris because it's Paris and everyone's having a good time. And then the crew leaves early and you're the last man out and you're by yourself in a hotel room and you're like, I'll just have a normal dinner and I'll be fine. And then you don't, and you just start drinking bottles of wine, and then you end up in your room and you can't go to sleep and you're just like, you're fucking totally out. And then I call my wife, and my wife's like, it's going to be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. It happened like 3 times. And then the last time it happened was in Knoxville. I was supposed to go to LA, and then I think from LA I had to go to like New Zealand, but I was wanting to stay home for a day or 2. Mm-hmm. And they were like, no, we don't have that in the schedule. When you land, we'll meet you at baggage claim. We'll take you over to your New Zealand flight. And all that stuff builds up in me, and my stomach starts getting uneasy, and I'm not going to see my kids now for 2 more weeks. And I just start fucking spinning out. And my wife's like, and I call my wife, and she can just hear it in my voice. And the first one that ever happened was in Las Vegas when I had to jump off the stratosphere.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Oh, dude, I woke up. I was like, no, I'll just go to dinner, have a few drinks, and sleep soundly. That doesn't happen.
Right.
Fucking few shots of tequila, a few beers, sushi, and then you wake up in the middle of the night sweating. And you're like dry heaving. I couldn't stop dry heaving.
Right.
I call my wife. I go, I'm running away. She was like, what? I go, I'm running away. I go, I made some really bad decisions in my life, and this was one of them. I should never have said yes to the show.
Right.
Because I'm watching. It's 1,100-foot free fall, 16 seconds. And I'm like...
And this is the night before you had to do it?
The night before I had to do it. I'm sweating, and I can't even get on the bed because I feel like the bed's a building. I'm going to fall off of it. And just panic attacks, man. Really bad panic attacks. And then the last one was in Knoxville. And then
Did you do it?
Yeah, I jumped. I've done them all. I've never did nothing that I didn't do. But the thing was, I had these a lot. Like, you just have scary shit you got to do, like jump off the world's tallest outdoor rope swing. It's like 520 feet. Jump off the world's tallest indoor rope swing. The night before you do that, man, you're having panic attacks. Like,
yeah,
I was having panic attacks, and booze was the only thing I knew that could fix it. But then sometimes it would revert on you, and I'd just be like, I can't sleep, I can't get drunk, I feel like I'm drinking all night. I gotta stop drinking. It can't be 2 a.m. and I'm drinking up until call time at 7. I can't do that. I need to have a break. And because I am a normal person too. But my wife, the last one in Knoxville, she was like, you're done, you're going to therapy. And then it continued. It continued when I did Birth to Conquer. It kind of continued where I was like, bungee jumping or whatever it was. I just couldn't.
Right.
I was like panic, man. And then when I stopped travel, I just normaled out. I was like, oh, that's right. I totally love stand up. Like, that's right. There's this is a job I go to and I fucking get excited to show up for. Not that I'm not grateful for all the stuff I did at Travel Channel, but it was a lot. It was like a lot on that. You just shoot days were crammed, and you were like in fucking Tanzania one day, then Zanzibar the next day, then South Africa the next day, and then fucking Durban, South Africa the next day, and you're just like, and nothing was ever like normal, and you were always fucking jet lagged.
Jesus Christ.
It was crazy, man. It was like being in a fucking then you go like, oh, now I know why Britney Spears shaves her head.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I couldn't live that fucking life and be famous doing it.
Well, that's the thing. Imagine, any one of those, that schedule, and then any place where you set foot, you're being mobbed. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane. It's a wonder that she was able to even out. I mean, it's an insane life.
I can't imagine the travel plus the insanity of performing and the pressures and the money and the people trying to get you in their corner. Dude, fuck that.
Yeah, no, fuck all that, man.
I just want to be able to sell out the Vic. That's it.
Right?
That's all I need. 1,000-seaters.
My whole goal in this business is to do what the bands I loved growing up did and sell out like 500 to 700 seaters.
Dude,
that's all I want.
There's a great club. I wish I knew where this club was. In 300-seater. I go, okay, let's do 2 shows.
Right.
That would be really cool, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
That'd be great.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you want to do theaters?
No.
Just those like rock
I'm not
venues?
against it. I don't have an aspiration to do it, though.
Who would you want to tour with if you could
rock
tour with,
venues?
Who would you want to tour with if you could set up a tour of you and your friends?
Like, who would I want to tour? Like, what friends?
Like, if you're 4 comics, Kings of Comedy style.
It's a tough call, man, because there's a lot of guys I that helped me in the beginning that I look up to still, and that are also great friends. Where I'd say the Burrs and the Okersons of the world.
Yeah.
That means something to me, and it'd be great to go. What a way to commemorate our relationship. Then there's your boys who are comics that Jesse Pop and Vince Averill are really tight friends of mine out here, and I'd love to fucking tour with those dudes.
Great,
we'd have a fucking blast. And then they're the guys you admire. And go, oh, wouldn't it be cool to be out there with Maria Bamford? I'm friendly with Maria, but it's like it would be a dream of mine to work with her. But we're not like pal. We don't kick it.
I sent a tweet to her and Tig. They were in San Diego when I was. I was like, hey guys, let's all go out and party. And they both liked it, but no one replied.
I don't think they party, man.
I don't think they do either.
Yeah.
Not the way I do.
No, I don't think they drink. I've never seen...
Tig does not drink. I heard that on a podcast.
And I've never seen Maria drink. I mean, maybe she does sometimes.
Probably. I'm assuming she's pretty open with this. I'm assuming she's probably on some meds that would interact weird with booze.
I remember her telling me a story of drinking too much. Her husband had to come pick her up because she drank too much concentrated coffee or something.
Ooh.
Like, she was telling me about this coffee she bought that you're supposed to cut with water because it's really fucking strong.
I've gotten that coffee.
Yeah, and it was the way she was describing it. She was being funny the way she was describing it, but it almost sounded like that was like her drug.
Oh yeah.
I was on At Midnight yesterday, and Hardwick was saying that on the show. He's like, I will never give up Starbucks. He's like, I don't do anything else. I'm sober. I don't do anything else.
He used to be a fucking lush.
Yeah, he used to drink, right?
He used to be fun.
What was he like when I never knew him back then.
I only partied with him a couple of times. It was always next to him, and I didn't, and this I want to say. I mean, he was definitely doing comedy at the time, but this is before, like there was a period where he was just a host, like he was a TV host.
Yeah, yeah,
and you'd see him at like the Improv, and he was just fun. He was kind of sloppy, like not as put together as he is now.
No, he showed a clip one time when I was on the show of him back when he was drinking, and he was like a fat dude.
He was chubby,
yeah,
and like sweatshirts, and not like these fucking badass suits he has now.
Yeah, he looks amazing now, and he's in great shape, and he's clearly doing well for himself.
Yeah.
And I always envied that in a guy. Like, I'm always like, why can't my high be video games? Why can't
Is that his high, video games?
Well, I don't know if it's his high or not, but I mean, he certainly gets into them in a way that I don't.
Yeah.
I love video games, and I talk video games with him when I see him, but he's got a depth and an appreciation with them that I don't have. And I'm like, this guy, this could be his Friday night, and he'd be okay with that.
Ooh, by the way, I'm definitely will tell you, there is a part of me that would love Friday night video games. I used to love that shit.
Look, I'd love it too, but I want to be fucking getting shit-faced while we're doing it.
Yeah, oh yeah, I probably would do that too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are other guys that are just like, I feel like Chris is a guy that could be like, oh, it was a great night. Like, we played the new Final Fantasy all night or whatever. I might be wrong, but I'm just assuming.
He is I think a lot of people question his nerdiness. He's a real nerd.
No, he's the real deal, dude.
Yeah.
He knows his shit.
He is like, he really loves that shit. He's an interesting guy.
I saw him once at the stand in New York, which is one of my favorite spots. I love it. And he came in to do some sets, and we were sitting at the bar, and he wasn't drinking, obviously, and he pulled out a Nintendo DS. It might have even been pink. I don't remember the color of it because I think it was his girlfriend's DS at the time, his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I think
Is that Patty Hearst's kid?
I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, he pulled out a Nintendo DS, and because this is what he was carrying it with him to keep himself occupied all night. And
really?
And he was playing some kind of, Chris, if you're listening to this and I get this wrong.
He was not.
He probably isn't, but but if by
I can
chance,
promise you, Amy and Chris will not be hearing this.
Yeah. If by chance this podcast gets back to Chris, correct me if I'm wrong. He was playing like a kitty cat game. Like an Animal Farm game, some game about animals or something, some kind of weird, like, barnyard. My point is this. It was the nerdiest fucking game I've ever seen a human being play ever.
Yeah.
So every time somebody goes, he's not a real nerd, I'm like, no, he's a real nerd.
It just happens to be beautiful.
Yeah, he was in the depths of this game, man.
Yeah, he's in an interesting place because, like, I don't know if I'd want to be in his positions where comics need him. Like, if he goes to a club, every comic's hitting him up like, hey, man, when can I be on at midnight? When can I be on that? Like, they said to me, they were like, we want to get you on at midnight. And I go, pass. If they want me on, they know I'm a stand-up comedian. They'll reach out to me.
Right.
Like, maybe they stay. Like, I don't want to be shoved down anyone's throat ever. Right. It's one of the things that I know for like with podcasts. There's guests that they've gotten me that I go, oh, that's a big get. Doesn't get a lot of downloads because when I talk to them, there's no back and forth like this.
Right.
It's me asking question and them answering question.
Speaking of which, dude,
you got to go roll.
What time is it?
We've done an hour 40.
Oh shit. Oh, it's almost 5. Yeah, I do actually have to roll.
Okay.
Is that shitty?
No, not at all. Not at all. I was just going to ask you that. So real quick, last two questions. What are you writing a brand new hour and again ditching all your old material?
I'm not doing any of the hour that's about to premiere. I'm not doing any of that anymore. I might do a little bit of it on the road to pad the set, but I think I might have enough that I can get by without it. And so the short answer is yes. I'm certainly not going to try to crank another hour out within the year. I don't agree with that approach. I want to let it marinate and simmer. I want to write and have fun doing stand-up over the next 2 years and find the kernels of the right thing and then start to put those together.
And the hours this Friday at midnight.
3 a.m. or 3 a.m. Friday, February 3rd at midnight. That's the time, not the show. You Let Me Down on Comedy Central premieres. Replays February 5th, 1 a.m. So you can watch it after the Super Bowl.
And then it goes right on.
And then online, it's February 7th.
Online's where everyone's going to find it, man. I'm telling you, that's the move right now.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about doing my next special and just putting it on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be. You can stream it on the Comedy Central app, and it'll go onto iTunes and all that bullshit too. So
fantastic.
You can, no, it's not bullshit. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
So yeah, check it out. I hope you enjoy it, man.
I'll post this evening. It'll be going up within within the hour.
Thanks, buddy. This was great.
No, it's good. It's always good hanging out with you. And like I said, I told you this. Everyone knows this already. But if you ever anytime you want to come back, I always say 2 comics gets double the numbers always.
Okay.
I mean, this was a better. As soon as I sent that to you, I was like, there's a couple guys that doesn't really matter for, like you, Kurt, Big J. Like you guys are people that all my fans know and already love.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
so, but I do know that like. Ari and you would probably get the same numbers, but Ari did one with Steve Renazizi, and it got so big numbers. I was like, oh, I want to start having 2 guests on.
Hey, dude, I'll come back anytime, man. And like dead serious,
Let's do it when you're boozing.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, if you have a Friday night, I'll come. Do you have a system over here?
Yeah.
Video games? What do you have?
Oh, no. It's all in the girls' room. Everything gets taken out when you're a dad.
Because I was going to say, man, I'll come over here, or you come to my place on a Friday night, dude. I'd love to sit on a couch with you and drink beers. And
Fuck yeah.
Get like 4 or 5 dudes together. Burn would be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and fucking just throw back beers and,
Let's do it.
you know?
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
All right.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen and guns.
You are an idiot. Hello?
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 All right, I'm in 2. God.
Wasn't plugged up?
No. Well, this is the problem with my life is that I don't, I'm not organized.
No.
No. Keep the mic to your mouth the whole time when you talk.
But I don't like that.
No, but
See,
don't
that's
do one of
why
these.
you
Like,
need the pilot kind.
what do you mean pilot kind?
The headphone with the thing on it. Like
no,
this.
no.
So you just do like this the whole time.
Oh no, I would never do that. I would
would never?
never do that.
Why?
Never. No. I don't like
Then
that.
you could pretend like you're a pilot.
Oh, I see what you said. When I said pilot. All right, guys, we're going to do a new thing on the podcast where we're going to review Black Sails.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we just watched Black Sails. It is the premiere episode of season 4.
I think it's season 3.
Is it?
It's the final season,
So
which is really sad.
I love this. By the way, my numbers, I'm well aware of how many of you guys don't watch Black Sails, but this will be a real quick review of what we thought of Black Sails. So what did you think?
I thought it was great. I'm excited for this season. I'm sad that it's the final season, but it's going to be awesome.
Could you give it a recap?
Of tonight's episode?
Yeah. And by the way, spoiler alert, we just want you to get into Black Sails. We love Black Sails.
It's a really great show.
It's such a great show. It really is such a great show. And I
But you kind of do need to read Treasure Island first.
yeah, but that's such an easy book to read.
Well, yeah. I mean, it was written for a 13-year-old boy, but still.
Yeah. So can you give a recap of the episodes we saw today?
Tonight?
It starts off with webbing, not webbing,
A ladder? A
Rigging.
rope ladder?
rope ladder going into the ocean, and you don't know what that is.
And there's a man clearly that is trapped
Yeah.
in the rope ladder. We don't know who that is, but he's sinking, and he's definitely not getting out.
I assumed he was British,
I assumed he was Long John Silver.
and you assumed right.
Yes.
Because what happens is, and this is from season 2, this is the war. They're coming back to reclaim
Nassau.
Nassau.
Right. The British have taken Nassau from the pirates, and now the pirates are trying to take Nassau back from the British.
Yes.
So the pirates have united with an island of kind of refugee slaves.
3 boats?
They had 2 boats.
Oh, is it
The
2
pirates
boats?
had 2 boats.
Okay.
They had Rackham and Blackbeard on one boat.
Which is important to this because Rackham decides, after what you're about to hear, to haul ass.
Yeah, he decides to really be a pirate.
Fuck, I love Rackham.
I do
Dude,
too.
if you're that, hey, can everyone reach out? I'm doing shows in London. Reach out to Billy Bones and Rackham and tell them, come out to my shows.
Are they British?
Yeah, they're
I
all
thought-
British.
I
Yeah,
thought
they're
they
all
were-
British actors.
Really?
Yeah, they're all British actors. So turns out they sank a bunch of boats in the harbor so they can't get in.
Who's they?
The British.
I know, but they don't know that. They haven't seen the show.
So what are we going to do on this? Like, I thought we were going to recap it.
We
Recap
are.
it.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the British sank a bunch of ships in the harbor so that to use it as a barricade like a reef, right? So that the pirate ships couldn't get close enough to fire their guns at the fort. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, because that's what I just said.
No, you are using pronouns, and we don't know who those pronouns are related to.
All right.
So you go, they sunk ships in the harbor so they couldn't get in. Well, they don't know who they is. Either they.
British sunk a bunch of ships.
Yeah.
And then
The pirates.
run up on ground. Beautiful moment where he tells everyone to pull the sails.
Right.
So you're getting shot at. Oh, so good. Oh, it's such a great show.
It's a really good show.
And then keep going. Tell the story.
So the British kind of win that battle, right? They sink the Spanish ship that they had taken. What was the name of it? Man of War.
Yeah.
That was the ship that Flint
shit.
And Long John Silver were on the Man of War, and Blackbeard and Rackham were on the other ship. So they
I
sink
keep
Man of
forgetting
War.
about Blackbeard.
Why?
I forget about that guy.
He's awesome actor. So Man of War sinks. Long John Silver is caught in the rope ladder and it plunges to the bottom of the ocean, right? And the queen of the slaves watches him sink, devastated, right? She's clearly really upset. And they leave. They evacuate. They just abandon ship, everybody, and leave. So then Rackham and Blackbeard decide they need to flee. And hopefully that will draw the British Navy into the ocean.
But Rackham's got this thing in his head because, by the way, spoiler alert, Charles Vane died at the very end of season 2.
You can't do that. Why would you do that? You could have told them all about the other stuff without telling them that he died. You are terrible at this. You gotta leave something for people to want to watch it for.
I hope you don't watch the show at all. And all you do is listen to us talk about the show.
That's really, you could have said that he wanted to avenge Charles Vane. Nobody knows that means he's dead.
I said, what do you think? Okay.
Spoiler alert. So is this whole thing going to be spoiler alert? So never mind. Just don't watch anything and we'll just tell you what's happening now. No. You got to leave a little bit so they want to watch the show.
Like, no one watches the show. We're the only ones that watch the show.
That is not true.
We're the only ones that watch the fucking show.
No, it's not true.
We love the show and no one watches it. I know because of what fucking is going on with television these days. We want you to watch the show. Look,
it's dead anyway, the show. It's the final season.
But
it's so good.
But you're not going to see... Look, the actor has, like, posted things on his Twitter saying I'm dead. Like
who did?
Charles Vane.
Oh.
So he's dead.
Well, not everybody's on Twitter.
Charles Vane is dead.
I can't believe you would tell them that. That's just wrong. You have to leave a little bit so they want to watch it. So now they're going to watch all of season 1 going, well, he's fucking dead.
Well, yeah, well, he's going to die. Look, they're all going to die.
No, they're not. If you read Treasure Island, you know that Billy Bones, but there are several people who do not die. If you read Treasure Island before,
superheroes, they're all gonna die at one point.
But if you read Treasure Island, you know who survives, and then throughout the whole show, you're going, "How does he get out of this? Because he's gonna die." But he doesn't die because I know in the book he's alive.
Listen, I hope. So they killed Charles Vane.
Well, you've already told him that.
Yeah. and then.
But that was season 2.
That is why Jack Rackham has like this bone up his ass about being a pirate,
right?
About getting into fights
and about being a legit pirate. Because Jack Rackham was an intellectual pirate, same thing. So he would pirate intellectually, but he would never like physically fight that much.
Great moment is when he decides to he says to Blackbeard, "Is someone going to talk to them?"
Yeah, because that's how he pirates.
Oh,
he inspires.
That's the kind of pirate I'd be.
You think so? You don't think you fight? You don't think you get down and dirty?
I would be an inspirational pirate. Like,
you don't think you'd be Flint, where you do both?
You know what kind of pirate I'd be? I'd be like, guys, beautiful sunrise. Who wants rum?
So maybe you wouldn't be a pirate. Maybe you would work for the madam.
What?
For the madam.
I wouldn't be a whore.
No, I didn't say you'd be a whore. Maybe you'd be like the head bartender.
All right, let's keep going.
Cruise director.
I'm much more of a cruise director pilot. I am much more of a cruise director pilot than I am. All right, so
they flee.
Yeah.
The British decide to chase them, which allows Flint and all the men that abandoned the man of war to escape. So their plan worked. 170 escaped?
I think that's what they say, and then they cut that dude's ear off.
Oh, I thought they said 170 had been captured.
Maybe that's what it is.
I think that may be it. Well, I know they have 121 to feed, so it's got to be somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
How would they know how many men are on that ship to know how many got away?
Right.
That seems very unlikely.
Turning off the TV. TJ's specials on, and I'm going to focus on that.
He looks so thin.
I know, right?
Was he young?
No, he's still young. He's like 35, I think, right now.
I know, but was that when he was
He's
young?
probably 25 at then.
Oh, well, yeah, so he's young.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Flint gets away. They go, I think they're on like the backside of Nassau. I think they're on like the...
That's the thing
They
that's
are
confusing.
on Nassau. They are because they end up in her house.
Oh.
They're on Nassau. They're just around the corner.
I think you mean NASA.
I say Nassau.
NASA. No, wait. You're right. Nassau.
NASA is the space program. I think NASA is a different ship entirely.
Okay, all right. Keep going.
Are you drunk?
I am very drunk.
Why the hell are you drunk?
Because the flight and
You're very sneaky.
What do you
That's
mean?
very sneaky.
What do you mean?
Have you been drinking this whole time?
No, I didn't drink the whole time at dinner, and then when we came out here to watch the show, I had a cocktail.
Just one?
Well, it was in the 32-ounce styrofoam cup. So it was one.
You had a big gulp
I had
cocktail?
a big gulp cocktail. I was styrofoaming it.
Maybe we should call Dr. Drew.
Shut. This is. By the way, this will be attached to the Dr. Drew podcast already.
It will?
Yeah. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this up.
I don't deserve a standalone.
No.
I don't.
No. I know. Look, I know how much you guys love LeeAnn, and I trust me when I know. Like,
Trust me when I know.
Shut up. So many people come up to me and they go, I love LeeAnn's podcast. Like true fans.
I don't have a podcast.
No, when we do a podcast together. But I think it serves us better to do one with Dr. Drew, like post it later and have this be the intro.
I understand your misogyny. I understand it completely.
No misogyny. Look, we're not Tom and Push.
No.
We are me and you.
Yeah.
And we do intros.
But I'm not a comic.
Yeah.
I'm just funny, naturally.
Oh. Right now, everyone just sat in their chair and they went, oh.
They did not.
No, everyone loves you. I don't. That's not my podcast. It's not me and you. I wish it was. I would love.
No,
to
you
have
do
that.
not.
No, I really do.
Oh,
I
no,
really
you
do.
don't. No, you don't.
I really do.
I think it would drive you crazy.
No, I'd love if I could do a fucking podcast with you.
I don't believe you.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am serious. That's okay. I'm not offended or anything. But I really don't think that you would enjoy that.
Do you think that it's more enjoyable for me to book comics to be on my podcast than just me hang out with you in the man cave?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I would love to have a podcast with you.
I think that you are such a social human being that you need to be talking to interesting and or new people on a constant basis. And I think that the podcast does that for you.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
I'm not the one that had the big gulp cocktail, so I don't think I'm out of my mind. I think I maybe know you a little bit.
So what happens when they get to Nassau?
What happens when they get to Nassau is clearly... Wait, when they get to Nassau? You mean when they get...
NASA.
to NASA? They're on the moon. And then there's a totally different... It's a spin-off series. It's called Black Moon. It's called Black Moon Rising.
Pointless podcast. No one even watches this show.
We watch this show. That we can't be the only people.
Love it. We love it.
We got
By
the
the way,
Fronkins to watch the show.
They because fucking the creator of this show gave us a bunch of DVDs and we gave it to our friends.
No, but they love it. They're dying for tonight. They couldn't
serious?
wait for. Oh, they love this show.
Are you serious?
Yes,
Oh, we should call them.
because it's really good.
It's such a great show. It
So if
really is.
anybody would
it really
watch
is,
it-
really is such a great show, and I hope that I hope that this inspires people to watch it.
I'm sure it will.
Look, who gives a fuck? It's a podcast. The whole point of a podcast is that you have a good time. And the thing is that we really do enjoy the show. We really do.
Completely. I love this
really
show.
do enjoy this show.
This and the Game of Thrones are the only two shows I watch. I don't watch, and the Mick.
And, but hold on.
Oh, and
hold on,
Bloodline, and
hold on,
Bloodline.
Hold on.
But that's it, really.
Hold on 1 second. The reason we watch the Mick is because of our daughters.
Yes, that's
Our
right.
daughters love the Mick.
They do.
What
It's
is the
kind of a little bit
fucking-
inappropriate.
It's so inappropriate. And the girls, you said to the girls, you wanted to have a show to watch for the family to watch.
Yeah.
And you said the Mick, but you didn't watch it. And the girls ended up watching it
Yeah.
and going, I like it. But it's so inappropriate.
It's
and then
just
I
a
watched
little
it.
too old for them. Just
Yeah.
a little bit, but that's okay.
And what was the other one you said?
Bloodline.
Oh.
But you stopped watching that.
I did. You know, the problem with Netflix is that, like, you'll binge watch, like, 10 of them.
Uh-huh.
And then you just don't get interested again. Like, there is something to be said for, like, tune-in television.
Yes, that's true, because you anticipate it all week long.
Because, like, I'm already waiting for Game of Thrones. I really am.
Oh, I am too.
Like, this, when I was on the plane today, I knew we were going to watch this tonight.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I want to have a cigar when I watch it.
Because it's an event.
It's an event.
Yeah. And
Monday Night Football. Like, there's certain
Yeah.
things that are events.
You're right.
The problem is, like, candidly, you know, like, that trickles down and people like, you know, like Comedy Central or, you know, we watched Roast Battle tonight, but
Mm-hmm.
like,
But I don't look for that.
but like Travel Channel was always like, what are your numbers for your premiere? And you're like, none. No one's sitting there going, guys, it's Bert the Conqueror tonight, you know? That's
Well, a
the thing
few
that sucks.
people.
Fucking nobody.
Okay.
But like, the thing is, like, for this, you know, I only say that in perspective. Like, Game of Thrones gets what? 5 million viewers?
I think something like that, yeah.
Put that in perspective on all the rest of television that's made.
Yeah.
Like, no one else is going like, oh my God, it's, you know, the biggest thing I know that I could say is like Property Brothers. Property Brothers is the biggest thing I know. Like, of guys that Ghost Adventurers are the biggest shows where, like, people are tuning into premieres.
So funny. I don't know a single person who watches either of those shows.
But those are the biggest things I know. Like, Drew just texted me today to talk on the phone. Drew Scott, it's one of the Property Brothers, and I was like, oh yeah, let's chat or whatever. But like, that is a tune in. Like, people tune in for it.
Why did you say he texted you today?
Like some name dropping.
Oh, God.
This is going to be a 20-minute. This is going to be a solo podcast. This is going to be just me and you.
I guess so. You know,
You're muscling in.
I'm not. See? There's the misogyny. I don't want a podcast. I'm doing this as a favor.
So,
So they land
Long
on
John Silver.
Long John Silver sinks to the bottom of the ocean. That's all we know at this point.
Yeah.
They've abandoned ship. The Flint takes the longboats and goes all the way around the other side of the Bahamas, right? He's not in Nassau. He's on the other side of the the island.
Okay.
Because that's where what's-her-name lived. And they end up in that
Billy
house.
Bones
right.
Billy Bones has apparently had set up camp for a while.
Yes.
By the way, Billy Bones, if you're listening to this, bro, you're yoked. And please hit me up in London. I'm going to be there. When am I going to be there? The 13th or the 19th. Billy Bones,
Of February.
I want you to meet my wife, and I want her to feel your arms. Because you know for a fact. By the way, you're right in my wife's wheelhouse. Like, that is the guy. that is your dream guy. Not, I know that I'm your dream guy 'cause now I make money, but like,
Oh, shut
but
up.
before that, Billy Bones is your guy.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. I like blonde boys with big biceps. Yes.
Billy Bones. What's his name? What's his name? As an
I
actor,
don't
you
know. Good looking? I don't know.
Billy Bones. Hit me up in London. We're going to be there the 13th and 19th. Do a podcast. Oh, we should totally do a podcast. Oh, my God. We could totally do a podcast with some of those guys.
You think so?
No, I know for a fact. I know the creator of the show.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, fuck yes. How fun would that be, me and you and some people from...
I don't know. I might be too nervous. I think you should do it.
No, you
I
have
get
to.
nervous talking to
But I
people.
don't remember any of their names. Like, I forget the storylines.
I don't know the actors' names. I'm sure they wouldn't appreciate me going, so long, John Silver. Tell me, what do
No,
you
you
think
know
about
that guy's name. What's that guy's
Luke
name?
Arnold? But I don't know.
You dickhead.
I don't know.
Fucking Luke
Billy
Arnold,
Bones'
yeah.
name?
Billy Bones.
I don't even know Flint's name.
I do.
I just know Luke Arnold's name because he was in the NXS thing.
And that got us into NXS.
Exactly.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy. But I only watched that NXS thing because Luke Arnold was in it and we were watching Black Sails.
So if I said to you, I have a podcast set up with Luke Arnold, you wouldn't want to be on it.
I wouldn't want to be on the podcast. I'd want to come and meet them and say hi, and then I'd let you do the podcast. But then you would not be very good at it because you can't remember anything about these shows.
You're fucking useless.
I have to re-explain everything. What did I just say?
I would need you to be on the podcast.
What did I just say?
So the podcast you guys are going to listen to in a second is with Dr. Drew. And LeeAnn was here in the Mancave and just jamming with him totally and having a great time. And then she left. And I ended up asking the 3 questions she wanted to ask on the podcast. So
I really wish I'd been here for that podcast. But I had to pick up people from school and take them to play practice and take them to the tutor. And, it was just a bad timing. But I would have loved to have had a bunch of questions for Dr. Drew. So maybe...
I asked him.
You think I only had 3?
You had more?
Of course I had more, but when I was telling you, remember, you were napping, and I came in and was like, I have some questions for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
And I started
No, I
going, and
wasn't.
you were like,
First, by the way,
I'm sleeping.
By the way, I
You're
wasn't
interrupting
napping.
me.
I was watching Neil Brennan's special.
Oh, okay, same thing. So...
No.
It looked a lot like napping. You were in the bed, and it was dark, and I thought you were napping. It looked a lot like napping.
I was watching Neil Brennan's. I was not.
I thought you were napping. You said you were napping.
I was not napping.
Okay.
Not napping.
It was the same thing to me.
Neil, I texted Neil and said how much I enjoyed his special. And now you're.
I wasn't privy to that. All I know was that I came in with some awesome questions, and you kicked me out.
Neil, I loved your special, Neil. I was not napping. You are a horrible podcast host.
I am. I'm not a host. I'm a guest.
You're a horrible podcast.
But I don't know Neil Brennan.
Shut the fuck up.
But I
Stop
don't-
speaking.
but
Stop
I don't-
speaking. Stop speaking.
Okay, well, my point is this. I had more questions, but you cut me off and you wouldn't let me finish giving you all the questions I had for Dr. Drew.
I can't believe.
So I would have given
I
you so
can't
much more
believe
stuff.
you sometimes.
Why? I'm sorry, Neil. I didn't.
Neil, fuck, stop saying Neil.
I'm sorry, Mr. Brennan.
No.
He really did enjoy your special. He told me later after he
I'm gonna
woke
throw
up.
I'm gonna throw up. Oh my God.
This definitely should be a tag-along podcast.
No.
A piggyback?
We're gonna do this. This is the intro for Dr. Drew.
Oh, good.
I'm gonna do an intro for this, and then this will be the lead into Dr. Drew.
An intro for this, and then an intro for Dr. Drew too.
No.
No, an
I'm gonna
intro
do an intro
for both.
I'm gonna do an intro, and
Okay.
go, guys. What you're about to hear is, and they've already heard this, and then this will be the beginning about Dr. Drew, then Dr. Drew, and then this.
Do you need an outro?
I have a headache now.
Why?
I'm laughing.
Well, that's not a bad thing. Okay, so Billy Bones is in. I can't remember her name.
She's dead now.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, spoiler
Bert!
alert.
Bert!
Spoiler.
You just need to stop talking.
Spoiler
No more
alert.
big gulp for you.
No more big gold vodkas.
Oh, babe. That you totally blew that one too, because that was such a shocker.
That was
That was a crazy one.
that was the best. I want to say the creator of the show's name's Jason Steinberg.
I think that's right.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it is. And he, the best part of this whole series, spoiler alert, is when they kill her and they go to hang Charles Vane and what's the other guy's name?
Flint?
Flint. And oh God.
Well, I have one more really awesome one.
Okay.
Do you remember when Flint was at the governor of Charleston and he was in their house and we're thinking that Flint is totally screwed, and then the last shot of the episode is Charles Vane in the water, face painted black, and you see that Charles Vane is coming to save him. Do you remember that? That was one of the moments where I went, "Are you kidding me? This is amazing."
There's been a lot of great moments in this show.
It was a great show.
I wish I hope in one point in my life I create something like this.
Me too.
That would be really cool.
It's an amazing
to be able
show.
to weave a story. Like, I was on stage this weekend and I was like, there's some really great moments that you get on stage where a tag, for the machine story, for me, one of my favorite parts of that whole story is spits vodka in her face, shuts the door, and he says, "No talk to a machine like that." And he goes, "Fuck that bitch. This is Russia."
And then you tag it at the end.
I
Of the story.
love that part. I love when a story comes full circle. I really do. There's parts I do, like in the ziplining story, which I don't think you've heard, but you were there for the ziplining thing. There's tags in it now where I go, God damn it! I love storytelling. I love the art of weaving a tale and getting you to the end. And I love that about this show. I really do.
Yeah, they do it very well.
That I go that, like, I don't even know who the guy. I don't like. So we'll cut to the end, but like obviously Long John Silver lives.
Yes, because he's alive in Treasure Island. That's what I'm talking about.
What I love is like when we realize it's the Jolly Roger.
Right.
Like, explain that a little bit.
Well, the guy who was sent from England to take over, to take Nassau back is, I can't remember his first name, but his last name is Rogers.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this episode tonight, I went, oh my God, that's Jolly Rogers.
Yeah.
Jolly Rogers Island. That's Jolly Rogers. And there's just been so many things like that in this series where for me anyway, from reading Treasure Island, I go, oh my God, that's the guy from Treasure Island.
This is the same thing that happened with Wicked.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like Wicked was it was like a place set up for tags.
Yes.
And then this is all set up for tags because you're like, oh my God.
But the amazing part about this is the characters literally get into predicaments and situations that you do not know how they're going to get out of.
Yeah.
But they live. Like, if you read Treasure Island, you know that Billy Bones lives and you know that Long John Silver lives.
And Charles Vane is a real pirate.
Right. And so is Jack Rackham.
Yeah, so is Jack Rackham and so is Bonnie Bonnie Rotten.
Is it Bonnie Rotten? I can't think of her name.
She's a porn star.
No, so maybe it's not Bonnie Rotten.
Oh. Anyway.
Jack Rackham's woman was a real person.
What was her name? Anne Bonnie.
Anne Bonnie, that's
Yeah.
right.
Bonnie Rotten's a porn star.
But I wonder if Eleanor was a real person. I mean, someone had to have been in charge of NASA.
I want to say I've looked it up. I don't know
I think
the answer.
you have, but
Yeah.
I don't remember either.
So we're going to do this every week.
But we haven't even finished the episode.
We haven't?
No, we haven't.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, so Billy Bones is set up camp on the
Yeah.
backside of the island, right? And he basically tells Flint to go fuck himself. Now he's in charge. And then Flint says, no, you're not in charge because I'm the only person that knows where the treasure is buried. And then, so I'm going to be in charge.
And then this black bitch shows up and says,
she's the queen of the slaves. Right.
I've been fucking. Oh, I love this chick. By the way,
awesome.
Sexy fucking moment in this.
She's beautiful.
Like, the beautiful thing about the show is there's, like, naked women all throughout it. But a beautiful moment was, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of naked women.
That's what we like together.
Is that what we like? Okay. It's like what one of us likes, maybe.
And so, but there was a beautiful moment where she is cuddling with
Long John Silver.
But he has one leg.
Yeah.
You see it.
It's a flashback.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's very cool. So in the middle of this, like alpha dog pissing match is happening between Billy Bones and Flint, which is really intense. She basically says, fuck you both. He told me where the treasure is.
I love this chick.
So
I shouldn't have said black bitch, but I love this chick.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress for one.
And gorgeous.
She's beautiful, and her character is
fucking
is
murderous.
Amazing. Yep,
She
she's
was
great.
And if you followed season 2,
Yep.
it was got to be season
2.
3, right? Season 2,
maybe.
She was so good in that.
No, it was season 3.
Anyway. So she says, "I know where the treasure is buried." Keep going.
Treasure's buried, right? And so then we flash to how Long John Silver got out of being trapped in this rope ladder.
By the way,
right?
it makes no fucking sense.
Well, there's no way he could hold his breath that long.
No, fuck that. Why would you swim back into the boat? I'm just talking about real life.
I've already explained
I understand that you think
it's a strategy.
It's not strategy. You swim to where air is.
No, it was a strategy. He swam back into the boat so he could hide,
Jason,
so he could
I
be
think
hidden.
you fucked this one up.
He did not. No, that was really smart.
but
It's
it was a
exactly
big
something
mistake.
a pirate would do. He would fly in. He'd swim into the ship so that he could be hidden. Everything is going to shit. They're killing everybody on surface. Why would he just pop up like a freaking cork? He would not do that. He would go in the ship and pop up in the ship so he stays hidden. So he did that. He stayed hidden until dark, and then he washed up on shore, right? Oh, forgot about this.
What?
In the flashback with Long John Silver, he explained to the Queen of the Slaves that he had heard this rumor that Billy Bones had started a rumor, or someone had started a rumor that there was a pirate king that was going to defeat the English, take back Nassau, and exact vengeance on all the people who were in the resistance to the pirates being in charge of Nassau.
Man, this cuts back to season 1 when he loses his leg.
Crazy, huh?
The best scene. I keep saying the best scene, but like,
It was awful.
for me and you, we grabbed each other, like literally, and we're like, oh my God, this is how he loses his leg.
I know, because if you read Treasure Island, you know Long John Silver has a peg leg. But he does not have a peg leg when we start the season.
Yes. And he's just John Silver.
Yeah, he's not really even a pirate.
No, he's
a cook.
This show is so fucking good.
It is so good.
I only hope that you've listened to this. I hope you enjoyed it because you were like, oh, I like Bert and LeeAnn, and I know that I have a podcast coming up. And we're going to do this every Sunday because I come home on Sundays, so we'll watch this. And then right after we watch it, we'll do this.
Unless the downloads decrease, and then...
No, downloads will be fine.
I'm joking. What?
Unless they decrease.
Exactly. If they decrease, you're like, we're not doing that again.
No,
we'll just watch the show.
No, but people can skip through this. They can skip through this to hear the podcast.
Totally.
But what was I saying before that?
We're going to do this every Sunday because I come home on Sunday. And Sunday.
You're a fucking jerk. And so, but man, when he lost his leg, you found out why the crew loved him.
Yeah.
And then his folklore was based off of that one moment, him losing his leg. And then you hear that there's a pirate king and you go, everyone loves Long John Silver.
Right.
They just love that guy. Flint, no one trusts him.
Yeah.
Billy Bones, they're like, eh.
Billy makes mistakes. That's the problem, is that Billy makes mistakes throughout. He makes wrong decisions, and then it gets people in trouble.
Yeah.
So then he really wants to be a noble, more noble as a pirate can be, Captain Flint.
Yeah.
But he's not smart enough. He's just not.
He's not.
So
But man, he is yoked.
he is yoked.
God damn.
He's a great actor. Whoever cast this did an amazing job.
Such a great cast. It really is.
Because there's not one person where I go, he's okay. They're all incredible. Every single person is incredible in this film or show or TV, whatever it is. TV show, series.
I like this season better than the last season, personally.
We've only seen one episode.
I know, but I like it better than what we saw last season already.
So far. Yeah. Well, there was a lot of time spent on the slave island, slave queen kind of storyline, and it did kind of get a little boring. Not boring, maybe repetitive. But it's the last one.
Last season. So then, are we going to do this for Game of Thrones?
I don't know. We'll see how your numbers do with this.
So I'll attach this to Dr. Drew.
Are you sure you don't want to put it at the end? As like a bonus track?
Yeah. Maybe I will. That's a good idea, baby. I'll put it at the end of the podcast.
The Black Sales bonus?
Yeah, Black Sales bonus.
There you go.
It's a great idea. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Do you have anything? So are we clear on the
Were you going to
episode?
say, is there anything I need to like promote?
Yeah. Is there Girl
We'll be
Scout
selling
cookies?
Girl Scout cookies until March.
Hey, what
Buy Girl Scout
Are we good on
cookies.
this episode? What do we think's coming up?
On the next episode? I don't know. I think that Flint actually was right that they should attack Nassau right now, like tonight, because they're not expecting it. So I'm hoping they do that.
Yes. Oh, yes. That would be great.
But I'm not sure since they just found the Pirate King. I'm
by the
not
way,
sure what's happening.
this only can get better if I can get one of these guys on my podcast when we're in London.
Well, yeah, of course.
I would love that.
But
I hope to God you guys are enjoying this show as much as we are. And if you aren't watching the show, obviously we've ruined it for you. But,
we have?
or I have.
Maybe.
But go on and check this show out. It's on Stars, Black Sails. It's so fucking good.
It is really good, and
so
you can get it at Stars on Demand too. You don't have to watch it like you can
Really?
you can get every season and watch all three.
I'm going to do
seasons
this
and catch
every
up.
fucking week.
We're just going to
every week
shove Black Sails down your throat.
At the very end of an episode. So you like enjoy the episode. This is a Black Sails bonus.
There
I
you
love
go.
that you did that, baby. That's so smart.
Aw, shucks.
We'll do I'm going to do a podcast. It's a regular podcast all the way up to the end. And then you're going to hear this is brought to you by the machine. And then you're going to hear this.
This is brought to you by the machine.
You never heard my podcast?
Oh yeah, I have.
You have not.
Not in a
You
long time.
fucking liar.
I don't have time.
So, and then this will be at the end, and this is about Black Sails. So if you're a Black Sails fan, go to the tail end of the podcast, the last 30 minutes, and it's all a review of Black Sails, or what we thought of Black Sails.
Well, what did we think? We just kind of broke down what happened.
Okay, what did you think of the episode? Like emotionally, what did you think of the episode?
I thought it was really good. It definitely was not the most intense episode I've watched, but it was
not.
really good.
But we're talking about 2 seasons of episodes where we've had points where we grab each other, like
That's
literally physically grab each other, and I'm like, oh my God, that's how he loses his leg. Oh my God, like, oh shit, they're fucking,
Yes, I think it made me excited to see the rest of the season. So that's good. So then it's put us in the position to.
I'll
get
tell you
ready
what.
to
I'll
move
tell you what.
forward.
The ending was good with Long John Silver climbing up on the boat, but on the shore. But I didn't know who the guy was that flipped him over.
Yeah, I don't either. And
Should I
and
check
and
Jason?
the confrontation between Billy Bones and Flint was really good too.
That was really good.
And
It makes me excited. I wanted John Silver to like walk into camp. I wanted him to walk.
too easy.
Well, yeah.
Black sales doesn't do anything that easy. They don't, do they?
No,
No.
they don't. They really don't. You're
Nothing's
totally
that
right.
easy. I wanted that too, but there's no way they would have done that.
So thank you guys for listening. Right?
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. 40 minutes at the end of the podcast.
Okay. That's fine. No, honey, I don't care.
No. Take your top off.
Shut up.
You want to have sex on the podcast?
No,
Why not?
because that's just not right.
What do you mean?
Wasn't there enough sex in black sales?
No, but it would, like, if we had sex, then recorded it audio wise, and we'd be the first couple to put out an audio.
What would that sound like? It would sound like this.
I love you.
I love you too.
Do we miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right. So every Sunday, we're going to do this every Sunday night. I think I'm home every Sunday night, right, baby?
Except for the Sunday we're in London.
Ooh. Which we want to have black salespeople on.
Well, actually, we're in London one Sunday. I'm in London, and the next Sunday we're flying. So we have two in a row.
Oof. Hopefully, what we can do is
Watch two.
that's going to be, you're right, that's going to be tough. But it's just one Wednesday. They come out on Wednesdays, my podcast.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have black sales actors on my podcast. With LeeAnn, I won't do it without you. I really honestly couldn't do it without you because I don't know.
But what are we going to talk to them just about black sales the whole time?
Yeah.
Why? We already know it. I don't want to know what's coming in the episodes.
All right, guys. You drive me nuts.
I don't want to know what's happening. I want to watch it.
God forbid we got a scoop.
I don't want a scoop. That ruins it. Just like now you've ruined Charles Vane's dead to everybody.
Yeah, but they'd know that if they just went online.
But then people that... Never mind.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully we'll get a black sales actor in London. I'll reach out to Jason and see if he can hook us up with one. I think that would be really cool. I would love to talk to any of these guys. You know you'd love to talk to Billy Bones.
Well, yeah. Are you going to prepare some questions?
I'm not going to have any questions. That's not how I do a podcast.
I know that.
I don't have questions. Charles Vane.
He's not British. He's from New York.
If you get... Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
And he follows me on Twitter. If you get one actor from the show on the podcast, who would you want?
And Bonnie.
Oh, yeah. No.
No, she's an awesome actress.
She is an awesome actress, but she's, I think she's super young and like an artist and like.
So what?
No, I want something rich.
Maybe Jack Rackham.
Toby is
Toby Stevens
is the guy who plays
is Flint.
I want Toby Stevens. Toby Stevens.
I think I'd be scared of him.
No, he's got so much rich history in life. That's who I want to talk to. Toby Stevens. Here's my top 5. Toby Stevens, obviously, Long John Silver. Like, even I'm
He's Australian.
Yeah, but he lives in London. That dude's a fucking pimp. He's the reason we're into NXS.
Yes.
Billy Bones for you, because I want you to feel his arms. And then Jack Rackham's really artist, or like the guy that plays Jack Rackham is a hardcore artist, like hardcore. Like I would want to do an interview with him so that Isla can meet him because him and Isla have the same brain.
You think so?
No. Yeah, totally. He's a big like drawer guy.
A drawer guy, like visual artist.
Yeah, he's an artist. That's what I meant to say.
Visual artist?
Like he's a visual artist, so he draws nonstop and. I would love for Isla to meet him and just, like, I don't know, whatever. All right. So that's the podcast, guys. You good?
I've been good, baby.
Okay. We're going to do this, try to do this every Sunday at the end of Black Sales, and then I'll just tag them on at the end of the podcast. I hope you guys enjoy them. If you don't, just don't listen to them. That's it. Right?
Yes.
All right. I love you guys with all my heart. This episode was brought to you by The Machine.